Crypto Pirates. Captain RG3 here, and this is your FN Hangout, Discourse Syndicate Edition. Get in here. It's your turn to talk. It's your turn to come and give the crypto community the shit that they deserve. This is your show, guys. I put the link up in all the chats. It's sitting there for you. It's in Telegram. It's in Twitch. It's all over the place. I don't have my boy Litecoin. He said he was on his way in. He'll be here in a few. So how's it going, everybody? Chat room. Thank you already for dropping lemons and diamonds. Heximofo, Colin Hexander, HexOG dropping a diamond. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Colin Alexander with an ice cream too. Right on, right on. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And Bran, my boy, dropping me a diamond. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And of course, as always, in the chat room, Mama Rock, good to see you back. And yeah, you mean Latecoin. She says Litecoin should be called Latecoin. You got that right. Hold on a second. Everybody's telling me that the link ain't working, but I just sent it to one of our cutthroats, and he is sitting in the green room right now. Hold on one second. Let me throw it one more time. I'm going to pick it up straight from here. Copy. Put it in there. You should be good, Randy. Try that one I just sent to your Telegram. And then everybody, the stupid restream deal won't let me. What is it? Command V for, yeah, there we go. That's the paste for stupid Mac. Right on, right on. All right, everybody. That should be the link. Let me dump it in Twitter real quick. If you don't have the link, there we go. Now they're popping in. Now they're popping in. My daughter's sending me all these TikToks. She's going crazy. All right, let's see here. Let me drop it one more time, and then I'll start bringing all the. Oh, here they come. Here they come. I hear them popping in. I'm not looking at it, but I can hear them popping in. If you. All right. Let's see here. Let me tweet that out real quick. And on the stream, tweet. So it's out in the twits too. So you got a twits on it. Look at this crew here. Yeah. Let me bring what is happening.
What's up, man?
Oh, just getting ready to get this thing fired off. What's up with you? We got Funding Jim. Gary's here. Yash Deep.
What's up, guys?
And our man, Mr. Hilarski. Otherwise known as
Randy the
Mr.
Hilarski. Yep. Randy the Horse Hilarski.
How's it going, everybody?
What's up, guys?
Friday night.
Good, I pulled an RG. Last minute, my computer decided, oh, it's time to upgrade right before the show starts.
It sounds like you got your face in a toilet bowl, too.
Well, I do, bro. The best place to have a face. Hey, I'm gonna get on my computer here in a minute. I'll meet you guys back on.
All right, we'll see you. Yash Deep, what's happening?
What's going on, guys? I feel like I know you, but you guys don't know me, and it's like a weird feeling.
Well, we're gonna fix that here in a second. Let me say hi to the rest of the fellas here, and we're gonna dig into you. We want to know a little more about you because I watched your stream the other day. I didn't get to see. I saw your test stream. I didn't get to see your live stream. So
okay, yeah, we did it again. It was pretty good.
I wanna check that out. I've been busier than a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, so it's been freaking hell. Gary, what is up, my man?
I'm on the West Coast for a couple weeks and then back to Puerto Rico. Things are going great.
Oh,
Just
wow.
Excitement. I was just making this joke earlier on Cabana's stream. This is kind of like the climax phase. You know, we've been pumping this thing for 11 months.
Here we are. It's time to shoot the load, man.
I feel like the rhythm is speeding up. I feel like the reading the contracts has gotten me all excited. So it's good stuff, man.
Someone get Hex 101 a freaking subscription then. Yeah, you've been here watching us and you haven't been following. God damn it. Get a subscription too while you're at it. Been sitting here sucking all of our information dry. What's up, Mr. Hilarski? Well, we got a new name for my boy.
Hey
here.
guys,
What's up, Mr. Hilarski?
the Horseman. Yeah,
Randy the
I can't
Horseman
tell.
Hilarski.
Is it the horse? Are you guys glitching out too, or is it just on my end? Like I can't tell.
I think it's just on your end. Here, let me bring up Late Coin here. Thank you, Mama Rock, for the diamond. Bran dropping some more. What is that? Oh, a subscription. He just got him a subscription. Thanks, Bran. And then our late man, as always, in my Buccaneer. Here he is, Father Hex.
Came prepared today.
Yes, sir. Blessed be thy bags, for they will pump.
Blessed be thy bags, for they will pump.
And may thy pain only be champagne.
I love the religiosity. This is amazing.
And
All right.
blessings towards Steph and Firebun for making the Staker app.
Hey, is everybody on the Staker app now?
Yeah.
It's an Android thing right now on the website too, right? You can do the website thing.
Yeah, you can do the website. They even have it on iOS and Android. I got the iOS version.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good.
I just set up the Android about an hour and a half ago. I just found out about it. Just set it up.
There it is. There it
There you
is.
go. There it is.
There we go.
So,
So it's like having Hex.live in our hand. Go ahead.
who's had experience with it? Maybe we can talk about that for a little bit. I'm gonna
Yep.
catch up. I'm looking at the site.
I've gotten so many DMs about, are you guys going to talk about Staker and kind of go over Staker tonight and this and that and the other? I said, yeah, of course we will. I'm sure everybody's on it. So we are going to talk about Staker. We're going to talk about crypto Twitter. We're going to talk about all the shit that's going on out there. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the fans only accounts that are showing up.
Oh, fans only. Only fans?
Hex fan only fans accounts flying everywhere.
What are you talking about, man? It's called Only Steak.
Only state.
Only Steak.
Very questionable website. I wouldn't go on there if I were you.
We're gonna talk about who won the $6,969 worth of Hex.
Yes. Well, we had a winner.
Woo.
Yeah.
Well deserved too. That's for sure.
Yeah.
While we're on stream, I haven't done it yet on this phone, but I'm gonna download and play with this iOS in the background. Pretty cool.
Okay. Cool.
Crypto Coffee did a really good intro video about it.
You did a video already?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's on
quick.
So fast. Like, hey, I can't catch up on his SEO, man. What the hell?
That's a good video too. That's what got me started on streaming. So shout out to Crypto Coffee, man.
Yeah,
Children.
I was telling him earlier, actually, in the Cabana stream, I owe that guy like dinner or beers or some shit because he was like a year ago, I think he was doing a stream. I forgot what it was about the topic, but he had said he was talking about being a liquidity provider. He said he wanted to experiment with being a liquidity provider on Uni, and he was going to make a video about it. And then before that video came out, I had, I like many of us, I saw like one big liquidity provider and then like a few little ones, right? And I was like, hey, I know that's going to be like the influencer group, so I think I need to be in that liquidity providing thing. And I provided a grand total of like $50 across like a couple of different wallets or whatever, right? And so just to experiment with it. And then later I learned about impermanent, loss and about whether you really make any money out of it, and you're shorting volatility and all these other kinds of things that you learned about being a liquidity provider. And really, I was doing it for a while to support the project itself, not in massive amount, but just some. And so I have to thank, and I did, but I need to thank him with dinner or something, because that's the reason that I had gotten so much uni. I got a lot of uni out of the fact that I was a liquidity person, and across 2 wallets, and across because I was going to give away Hex when it was like $50 worth of Hex. I had like 8 wallets that got uni, so it worked out pretty good because of Crypto Coffee. Pay attention to Crypto Coffee's channel; you'll learn shit.
Yeah, you learn shit. Not like here. Here you just start sinking into the freaking delves, dregs of society.
I learn new 4-letter words here every time.
This is new 4-letter word territory.
That's good.
This is right here.
Good, we can provide back for you.
We'll talk about your shit coins. We'll talk about, fleshlights and horse jerkings and fans only accounts.
Man.
Oh, by the way, Children of the Grave is starting his fan account. He announced it just now in the chat.
Just thinking about it just made me. Okay. Have at it, Children of the Grave. Have at it, buddy. Let's see. Have you seen the Hex TikTok video? 15,000 views in the last 48 hours in the comments. People want to know more about Hex. Really? Let's see if there is a Hex.
I just watched it 3 times on Twitter.
Oh, dude, this app is looking badass. I'm liking this right now.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, I did a quick once over. I liked it. It's kind of like Hex.live on steroids, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good UI in general. I mean, with this background and stuff, they're good UI, and then the back end with Carbon is pretty cool.
You guys take over for a minute. I have a little emergency to handle. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that happens when you get old.
Small bladder. They got a pee pad for that, actually.
Yeah, he's got one on the floor next to the stream.
We're not going to call this a stream. We're going to call this a trickle.
Hey, funny Jim. Funny Jim. Remember the Texas catheters? He needs some of those.
Exactly.
Oh,
Just slip it on, and then you can go all day. All right.
Oh, boy.
Father Hex, you gonna bless us with some news today too? You got some good tidbits for us?
Yeah. Actually, I think there's been an addition of 6 more Super Sharks in the last week.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. No new winning whales, but I've noticed that because it was like 104 last week on the last show that I did on Friday, and today it's 110. So there's 4 new Super Sharks, and the dabbing dolphins are also up. I think about 30 as well. So
That's
awesome. On the app right now, it's scrolling through and it's telling me that there was 10 whales, there were 74 super sharks, 594 dolphins, 2167 squids, and goes on. And then it also tells me, I don't know if this is true or not, it says me that the average duration of stakes, it used to be a little bit higher. It's 4.3 years now. So people are staking 4. I don't know if that is because the average comes down as like more people adopt, and they kind of put their toe in the water and they say I'll stake 6 months and think it's a long term.
Yep.
I'll bet. Yeah.
It's exactly what's going, because it takes a while. Like in any cryptocurrency, it just takes a while to get used to the ecosystem a little bit. Usually you if you're the type of personality that like jumps into a crypto and then just goes all in. Typically those people, like if they get a good coin like this, awesome. But a lot of the times they get into some rug pull and they get they lose everything. So it's like that's not very normal. So usually it takes a couple months or a couple weeks before they kind of understand the system and stuff. So we're gonna have a lot of people just trickling in doing these little short stakes, and as time goes on, they'll, especially towards the tail end, like the last week, they're gonna that length is probably gonna go up to like let me see where it's at currently. Currently it's at let me see.
The stats are really cool, dude. So like I can see that 4 minutes ago somebody staked 6.5 million hex for 6 days, and they're gonna get like I don't know, $88 or $100, or I don't know what that will be. And then they did another stake for 6.5 million for another 6 days. So there's people that are basically just trying to play the game.
The man himself.
Whoa.
We definitely need to give him his due, man. Now that everybody gets to see what the app finally looks like, so glad to have you on, man.
Woohoo! We're live.
Awesome.
That's been a journey. I think the past like 2 weeks has been a bit intense.
Wow, look at that, Big K. I haven't seen Big K in a while. What's happening,
Little K's.
Congratulations on the little K.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you very much.
Congrats.
New alphabet over there.
Yeah. Oh man, it feels great. It was a very exciting occurrence. We literally made it to the birthing center with 7 minutes to spare. It was. I ran 3. My wife was like, "Go! These lights don't matter. Go!" So Yeah, it was 2 hours. That's how fast we came from start to water break into out.
Wow, that's fast. Yeah,
you're a lucky man.
Yeah.
It's torture waiting. Ugh.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get yelled at for sleeping during all of it.
I bet. Yeah, we were in a birthing center, which had like the nice, I was expecting to use some of the amenities, did not have a chance to. There was none of that. We were in and out of there as quick as I could imagine.
Well, congratulations, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I don't know if you heard, but Stefan Firebun birthed the baby today too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I want to hear about this child. This is
I wanted to watch him make it.
This is a very photogenic child here.
And
hear me?
Yeah.
Are you focusing?
I thought maybe you didn't want to come in and fight with me anymore, Big K. You got bored.
I love fighting with you. That's one of my favorite things to do.
It is. I missed it.
I was so busy doing other shit. I'd catch some streams afterwards, and I'd be like, I couldn't. I'll be back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you.
So what's happening, Steph? Lay it on us.
It's all good. We're really excited. There's been like 2 intense weeks. I think we came on last time. I think was last week, just to explain that we had to delay the launch a little bit. But yeah, we are finally there. So really excited because the reception has been really, really positive. And so thank you for everybody in the community just to be patient and for all the kind words of encouragement. I think that goes a long way. You guys don't realize, but when you're just like for a couple of months, just in your cave, coding away, trying to bring something from scratch and making it like a tangible product, it's really satisfying when people are receiving it so nicely. So thank you for everybody for the support.
Right on. Well, so what's up with Firebun? Have you like worn him down? He's sleeping or something, or what's the deal, man?
He's working hard. He's done it all.
I haven't seen him in ages, man. You've been popping in here, but I haven't seen him. I'm like, is there still a Firebun? Is Firebun still around?
He's around. I think we meet up, every other day.
Oh, look, he's in the chat. He's in the chat.
Oh.
What are you doing in the chat? Get your ass in here. What are you doing? I'm chilling.
Come
here.
Come celebrate.
Yeah, Brand sits in here and does nothing for hours. Come on in. Except for Flex and look good. He looks good.
He's trying to bring the ladies into the group,
And drinking the beer.
We've tried to bring the ladies in here. Every once in a while they'll show up, but then they just,
Cheers, everybody.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. That's awesome. I mean, I love this feed. I'm looking at the iOS version and the feed. I can see that 6 hours ago, someone staked 143 million hex for 15 days. $100,000. There's people that are, and actually,
I like the
go to 122 ETH buy.
Yeah, I love the integration with Uniswap, so you can see the buys and sells too.
You can see the buys. You can see people that actually buy with ETH. It's not just playing with what they already had. It's pretty cool.
Well, if somebody makes big moves, like you could literally see it right there. They unstaked here,
like right in your pocket,
right there. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. So, and I think right now we're just hinting to that feature in the feed. You can see in some cases if there is 2 events coming from the same address or something called related event or related activities. And so that's just a hint on where we're going with that. So the future of the feed will be some sort of like a bundle of events. So if someone were to, let's say, unstake and then sell it on Uniswap and then transfer something to another address, everything will be displayed as a bundle, as an email thread. So you
you anti-crypto motherfucker, you.
This is awesome. You're tracking the assholes. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's why this feature is so popular. People want to know what people are up to.
You have made it even more transparent, is what you've done.
Yeah, if I'm currently liquid or I want to stake, it's really interesting to see, who are the different actors in the ecosystem? What are they doing? how should I play the game? So more transparency, I think, is better for everybody to a certain limit. Obviously, you don't want to know like what is the identity of people owning the address, but all of these things are public address anyway. So we're just making it very digestible.
And then maybe you can make another page where you can start ranking them as to who's doing what.
It's really interesting. Do people remember Silver the Antidote when he was doing those analysis? And he was saying, this is a trader. This is probably a trader. This is a long staker. This is a person that's just looking at long ROI, hopping in and out. So like how you have the super sharks and you have the whales and things like that, I think it's a really interesting secondary label if you can do this tree like you're talking about this and seeing it expandable and seeing what they're doing, that you're going to be classified as a trader.
And I wanted to jump on board just first for celebrating thing. Thanks to everybody that supported
celebrating.
us.
Here's to celebrating.
Yes. Woohoo! But also, you guys started mentioning
ridiculous French accent.
That's it. The tease.
Monte.
But also, I wanted to touch on the league ranking aspect. So I want to do a quick reminder for everybody the way it currently works. It's a relative system. So depending on what is your share of the pie, the total amount of shares, you just split into a league based on like how much you've got. So I think to be a whale, you need to have more than 1% of total shares, something like that. To be a shark is divided by 10, and for every league down is divided by 10. So, so that's the way it works. So you could end up in, let's say, as a dolphin and just being promoted up to a shark without doing anything. Just the fact that people above you or around you are unstaking and not restaking, you just get more percentage of the pie, right? So that's, I think, the interesting things about the leagues. So you could just do something to climb up, but even without doing anything, if you just take for longer than everybody else and nobody is restaking after you, you could just climb up. So because all the fees
your value of your stakes over time are going to increase your value within the pool, so it increases your rank.
All the interest and the payouts and the early termination fees, they will be paid to you in proportion of how much you've got. So that's what that's kind of the gamify aspect of it. It's just another way to represent like how much you got into the system. That's the way to think about it. Like it's a very dynamic system. So even without doing anything, your status may change over time. And so what we're going to be adding into Staker is now you see on the homepage, you have this little rotation of the different leagues and distribution of leagues across the different levels. So you can imagine now you're going to be able to inspect leagues per leagues, who are the different addresses within each league, and how people are evolving over time. So you will have a little like plus 3 ranks or minus 3 ranks across the leagues just to see how people are evolving. That's where we're going with that.
Cool. Nice. Hey, real quick, Crypto King, a U.S. Navy retired, asked a good question. He said, "Can you add the ability to see each address separately?"
You can do that now on Hex Live.
I think it's been asked a few times. I think we added the ability to add multiple addresses. So if you have multiple addresses or you want to track other addresses beyond the one that you currently own, you can do that right now with Stakers. But I think people are asking, once I'm setting up 2 or 3 addresses, can I actually toggle and like disable or activate one of the address so that I can see? And so it's a lower priority features, but we'll look into it at some point.
Okay. Oh, we lost. Did we lose Randy? We lost Randy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can you comment about the way that people import into Staker? I haven't gone through the app yet. So is it that they're buying Hex someplace and they're sending it to be analyzed by Staker app, or kind of go through the operational tool? Do they buy buy ETH and then buy Hex and transfer, but basically that mechanism?
Yeah, so right now, like the version that we released is a little teaser because I think we had to do some revamping of some of the backend for the staking features. And so it's like people are expecting to the app. They're very eager to see it. So let's try to give them something now, which is the conversion sticker. And in the background, we can keep working at the more cool, interesting features, or just the core of like the MVP of Staker, which is the e/transaction, batch takings. All of these type of things will come, I think, in a couple of weeks, with the ability also eventually to purchase some Hex. So the way it will work is you will have the ability just to from the app to use third-party providers to eventually pay with your credit card from fiat to get some Hex, and then be able to stake them. So you'll have some sort of like template for laddering your stakes. You'll be able to see the top performers, and just one click of a button will just patch everything together, submit that to the blockchain, and you'll be notified in the app 3 or 5 minutes later when the transaction has been confirmed on the blockchain.
Are the fees going to be significantly higher because you're doing this batch transaction?
Actually, they should be slightly lower.
They should be lower.
Slightly lower. So the way it works when you're sending batch transaction is like the amount of compute realized by any miners on the networks is roughly the same. But we are using some technology that managed to compress a bit some of the data that is being sent to the network. So it should be slightly lower. And also the technique we're using will be replay the transaction. So if something is failing or is about to fail, then it will be transparent to the users, because behind the scene we'll just be replaying the transaction. So I don't want to be too technical, but it will be significantly cheaper for users to use batch taking. On top of the fact that you will just, if you want to set up a ladder with like 100 or 200 stakes, now it takes one click instead of 200 of them.
Up to 200 in one action. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean, we could go even. It depends on the limit of compute we could push into one meta transactions. But we've done some simulation, and I think around 200 stakes could be pushed all together in one transaction. Yeah.
So, do you have, by chance, like in Fidelity or any kind of a lot of things that they market to you, they basically say profile, like, what's your risk tolerance? I'm a mild risk. I'm a moderate risk. I'm a long-term, short-term. I have a goal. So is there like staking profiles that you could just like say, I want that kind of ladder?
It'd be hard to try and put risk in there, though. I mean,
so yeah, we don't want to be in the business of making suggestions of how people should invest their money. Yeah. The best things we can do is create a fun incentive to people to behave a certain way. And the way you do it is you just show them. You show them, like in the past year, what was the APY across the entire network, the Hex network. That's what we're doing on the homepage. We are being explicitly conservative to say, hey, this is what has been paid. So even if the APY was a bit, that's why the average is a bit low now, because we are counting for these early months of December, January, February, where the staking percentage was much higher, and so the APY was much lower. So it will keep catch up with the current APY level. But it's what I think this is the philosophy we are taking now. We just want to show people, hey, this is what people are doing. This is how much they're gaining. Historically, this is what has been happening. So it's up to you just to use that historical information to make an educated guess of where you want to put your money. So we'll be showing them what are the current best performers across leagues, right? So if you have a small stack and you're likely to be an octopus, this is the way you should emulate someone that has like a ladder that seems to be working well for them. So that's the kind of thing that we'll be doing.
So it's interesting. We were just talking earlier on Cabana Stream, and it was about other things that are trying to propose this staking kind of apparatus. That during bear markets, their percentage or their return is lower, and during bull markets, the return is higher because people are trying to buy that token in order to short a market and things like that. Like Celsius and other examples. But what I'm saying is, my question is on the homepage and on the app, when you were talking about the averages and showing the historical. The history of Hex, you're talking about on those numbers, those raw numbers, that it's from inception of December 2nd all the way to whatever date in the future. But that's what you're going to show is the history, not cherry picked. Nothing is cherry picked. It's basically the entire snapshot of Hex's history.
We just might have like different way to present it. We might just change the way we present it. Right now, it gives you both the APY and the dollar amounts effectively paid at current price for Hex. But for the past, everything since like last December. But what I think we'll change to, as X is growing and it gets more stable, we might just display the last 3 months because it's maybe more representative of what's currently happening in the systems. And maybe people, if they want even more in-depth analysis of what has been happening in the past year or in the past 2-3 years, they'll be able just to get that number as well.
Yeah, so if you look at kitco.com and you look at the silver markets, you can do that. You can look at 3 months, you can look at the 1 year, 5 year, the trend as far as silver, metals, and things like that. So that's a kind of a good emulator. That's what I like to do is toggle through what the history is, quarterly or annually.
Does somebody have like a wave machine on or something in the background?
Is that me? Because it's so hot in California right now. I had to turn my fan on. Hold on.
Or he can mute himself.
It's not that bad. It's not that hot.
It might be an oscillating fan going back and forth.
Oh, it sounds like a wave machine.
How's that?
There it is. It was you. Yeah,
if you target it one place, it'll probably be fine. But if it's swiping back and forth, it's probably making the weird sound for him.
No, it's blowing out the window. So I have like the sliding door open, and then I have a window over here. Try to get the air to
crosswind.
Yeah,
but it's melted, man.
Hey guys, who is here doing the Cabana Crypto Franklin Saint Hex challenge, the sport challenge?
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
BK.
I just got it in today. The new Quest 2.
So you'll be running.
So I'm gonna be So I think I'm gonna do some live streams of me working out in the VR thing, which should be hilarious and ridiculous.
What is that? Is that $299? That thing?
Yeah, it was cheaper than the original Quest was.
Have you plugged it in yet?
I have not even. I literally haven't even opened. I just got it in. So
I couldn't even. I would be opening that son of a bitch and come into the door.
I know that there's this challenge to be healthy, but I think that Pirate RG3 has a different challenge. So I'm going to start that one. With,
I'm going to try and keep up with that too.
Salute to
the JD challenge.
Many a night.
So I'm back in it too. I just got a new membership. I dumped my gym. So my gym, I go to this big freaking whatever Hollywood gym over here, and they got all the amenities, the pools, the spas, the saunas, the cold dips, and all that shit. But they shut all that down. So they want to charge us all the same price to go back, but all that stuff shut down. So all you can do is like set an appointment and go work out. So I'm gonna go to the like $10 gym now because screw them. I ain't doing it.
What's the Cabana challenge?
Cabana's doing a fitness thing for the next 30 days, and it's basically, to make the 30 days tolerable because we're so like excited about this culmination and the BPD, and take your mind off of it by being a little bit more healthful. So
put some energy in the right place versus one of those QAnon anti-FAP things or something.
Well, you just want to be healthy for BP. You want to, the next 30 days. Be healthy so that you can get shit-faced for 30 days.
That won't happen,
no fapping for 30 days.
So I choke people for a workout.
Nice, good for you.
You like to roll?
Which one you work at?
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
What's her name?
Sister Hex.
Oh, that one's gonna go over well. No wonder we don't have any women on this.
Not a choke. It's just a.
So
grip.
speaking of women, we had the winner of the challenge, right?
Yes.
Or the
6969. To combat Antonopoulos saying that there's, needs uniformity and quotas.
Oh, look at that.
What's up, El
Hexidente? What's up, dude?
No, it sounds off. He's speaking. We don't hear you. Your mic's off.
Your mic's off, or you got the wrong one connected to StreamYard here, dude. Where are you at, El Hexidenti? You're up north, right?
Nope, nobody hears him.
Not yet. Children of the Grave says he chokes his pet chicken as a workout. Does that count?
A little pecker.
The Sapper says choke. Haven't heard it called that before. I'm actually gonna take Cabana up on that challenge. He messaged me before the show. It's my little guy's birthday today, so we were out eating dinner as a family. So I wasn't able to make the stream, but I'm definitely gonna take him up on that challenge. So I'm gonna try to be back down to 10% body fat. I'm hovering between 15 and 17 right now. So
what's that do for you other than keep you dehydrated?
You there?
It makes me look even more shredded.
We still can't hear you, bro. Maybe if you turn it off, turn back on or something. Maybe just your audio didn't hook up, but we can't hear you.
You might exit, come back in the room.
No WR Hex. It's too early for that. We're not doing price predictions yet. We will.
Yeah, we do that when we run out of material.
we can't talk anymore.
It's really exciting. So what have you guys seen as far as the best place to get, other than a centralized exchange? Because I think I'm getting completely turned off by central exchange other than turning dollar bills into
You got that right. You're getting turned off.
Yeah.
I mean, they're dropping like flies out here, man.
Yeah. They're turning off all the time.
Coinbase just put a 5-day waiting on all customers now. So when you buy an asset, it has to stay on the exchange for 5 days before you can transfer it off.
Yes. It's a very funny terminology. They call it an instant buy, but you're like, I'm not actually instantly buying anything. I can't take it away.
You're instantly buying your time on their damn exchange is what you're doing.
Well, when you put the money in, it basically is kiting time for them, right? So if they think about all of their customers that have a 5-day wait, that gives them time to either the market to move so that they can buy at a lower price point than you committed to. You committed when you bought it 5 days later, you get it. And so before, Coinbase was selling out of their own stock, things that they already owned, not really what the market was selling you on the instant buy stuff when you're doing money instant buy. So yeah, it's just another way to rent seek you, to be in a central exchange.
It's crypto jail. That's what it is. Yeah. You're in freaking Coinbase jail. Give me liberty. 15% body fat on 125 pounds. I don't think so, bro. We went out to lunch the other day, man. Come on.
186, bro. 186, not 125.
Oh, he's talking about you?
Yeah, he's talking about me.
186.
Call me tiny guy. Tiny guy, 4'8". In real life is what he thinks I am. So. No, I'm exactly average. I'm exactly average. I'm 5'9".
He said you bought little furniture to make yourself look big.
Yeah, I saw that.
That actually would be a pretty good business. If you just buy things at scale, like 25% smaller.
That's right. I look 6 foot tall, damn it, with all this tiny furniture around me.
Someone base would do that.
Oh, yeah, sure. This is all doll furniture.
Those guys, man. Crypto Twitter and freaking just a mess.
Give me liberty. I'll be down to 180 to hit 10% body fat will put me at about 180 for my body.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at too. So you're about probably the same size as me.
I'm not tall, but I'm not short. Right in the middle there.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm not like this Father Hex over here.
Father Hex here, 6'2" and counting.
Is he 6'2"?
6'2".
Yeah. Nice.
6'3" and Tim.
Hexo ain't no little boy either. He's a tall guy.
Yeah, he looks like a burly boy. Yeah.
Is he? How tall is Hexo? What do you think?
I think he's 6'1".
Yeah, he's got to be 6 foot. 6 foot at least.
I think he's 6'1", you said.
Yeah. I see that.
You usually can tell how big someone is if they ever do a picture with their arms up like this. It gives you a good scale for how tall they are.
Somebody said, Internet Lurker said, Adrian has been going AWOL on Twitter, posting porn. What the?
Whoa.
Yeah, he's having like a psychological breakdown or something. Something's going on with him.
I'm telling you, he was upset when Richard told everyone to make new YouTube channels. He was hoping everyone would end up on DTube. Yeah, he was heartbroken. He couldn't handle it.
He's making good money though. I mean, it shows what he's making on DTube. He's got pretty good follows.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, whatever he's doing, he knows how to like gather followers and to have people talk about his shit and watch his shit. I mean, that's
we talk about him all the time, and he's never talked to one of us.
Yeah, right. I mean, he even straight up said it. He even straight up said it when like one of the only things that he had said was that like you're not like I don't want to talk to any of y'all because you're eventually not gonna like me. You know, it's pretty much what he had said. He's like eventually whatever happens, it's not gonna be good. You know, I was like that's pretty foreshadowing right there. And this happened.
It was like that way in the beginning.
I wish we actually had that foreshadowing with some previous people too. That would be he's actually. You know?
Yes.
Like eventually, I'm going to be an asshole. I mean,
good, duly noted. Cool.
But yeah,
Children of the Grave. That's bad, dude. That is really, really bad, bro. I'm not even going to repeat it. Chat room can sometimes, but let's see.
You know what? Number one winner. Who was the winner? Was it the nerd girl? Who won? Who won that thing? The 6969.
Yeah, who was the one that won? I didn't.
Was it Nerd Girl?
Nerd Girl won.
Yeah, Nerd Girl won, and then I thought the Annette got something too.
Yeah. Then there was like a bunch of second, like $700 runner-up winners, and then there was a bunch more like $100 runner-up winners. That like because Richard was like, "There's so many that I'm gonna have to add on some more winners." So
and then there was all kinds of dudes that just started throwing their address in there. They're like, "Fuck it, I'm from India. Give me some money."
I like the dolled up Hexioda
ETH addresses. It's like, what is this deal?
You got to admit though, crypto finally almost won that shit.
Yeah, that Photoshop.
That was a good entry, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a good entry.
Yeah.
I love the tat. The tat was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was perfect. Yeah.
So
I got a lot of pictures of her. I won't post them, but I got a lot of pictures of her. They were coming in left and right. She goes to a lot of events, I suppose.
I've heard.
She has a lot of friends.
So. I mean, she's got opinions.
Yeah, yep. Let's see.
Opinions.
I mean, they're not positive towards Hex, that's for sure. But I mean,
yeah.
Let's see. How's that, El Hexadan? We got you now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. We sure can.
What's happening?
Yeah. Oh, not much. I was just watching you guys. I was trying to watch and stream at the same time, so it wasn't working out.
Yeah, you don't usually want to do that.
No.
So, what are you trying to do there? You've got like a incognito GT thing going on behind you. Is that what that is?
This thing up behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was coming at one time or another. But I don't play the banjo, and I'm a pretty cool guy, I think. So
you don't play the banjo and rape goats.
You don't make comments about other dudes' mouths, do you?
Negative.
Okay, good. Just making sure. The only problem with the safe behind you is it's too small.
Damn,
oh, yeah, no,
You have to upgrade it with a big one.
He just safe shamed you.
No, not at all. He's probably got 3 or 4 more behind him somewhere.
He's probably
Just
looking
right
at
around the corner. Yeah.
Hey, this is just the one. This is just in my bedroom. So
exactly. CRG told you.
Yeah,
I know a good guy when I see one.
Yeah, I need another one. Mine's blown out at the seams now. I can't keep any more in it.
I would never try to rob RG. Never in my life.
Mm-mm.
No, sir.
It's not RG you got to worry about. It's it's RG 3.2 and 3.4 that they were the ones watching in the upstairs bedrooms, and they're stacked too. So
I love
We're
it.
going over calibers for a second. Like RG 40, AK 47, RG M16.
I would never have an M16.
No. Smith and Wesson 500 though, maybe.
Hey, I wanted to touch on something. First, I want to say thank you to Steph. Obviously, this app and everything's been awesome, and just all the work that you and Firebun have done. I just want to say an official thank you to you and everyone that was involved with it, even though there's no expectations, you know. And go ahead.
No, kudos to Steph and Firebun coming together, and RG3 kind of the unrecognized matchmaker there. And it's pretty cool. Everybody's come together to put ideas and have it come to fruition. Pretty good.
Yeah. So what was the story behind you guys getting hooked up together? Like how'd that play out?
Actually, I had an idea. I think even before RG3 mentioned it, like a few weeks before that, to decide what I wanted to do with Dlive. Do I want to expand? Do I want to provide more features? Do I want to do a mobile app? And after deciding, envisioning what I think the next situation would be, I said, well, if I want to go that deep with a very nice project, it's better just to go with someone that knows his shit, that is talented. So we'll be able just to go much faster. And so I reached out to Fireban and just made it an offer. I said, hey, what do you think about just building a business together? And this is the vision. This is the path. This is how we could do it. And he was excited. So and then I think a week or two later, I think RG3 mentioned, it's like, oh, that would be so nice if these two guys were to come together. And he didn't know at the time that that was already happening. But yeah, that's the story. It was around like April, end of April, beginning of May, I think.
Yeah, I remember talking to you, I think through text on Telegram, and then Firebun also, because I was talking about the Monarch wallet and trying to integrate what Rob was doing. But he kind of stalled on the fiat side of things, and then I was glad to see you guys work together on this app that worked out pretty well.
I second that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
No, this is awesome, man. It is phenomenal.
hey,
And I
everyone,
knew you guys were all going to be excited.
we're fucking up right now. We
What's
just
up?
fucked up. We are not rating 5 stars on the Staker app on the iTunes store. What the hell is everyone doing right now?
What is
5
going
stars.
down?
What is
I
everyone
only
doing?
got Android.
Did the average go down? What happened?
No, it's
I
like
rated
not,
5.
not enough ratings. Wait, let me see if I can see it.
Oh.
There's not enough
I
ratings.
gave it a 5.
I learned from my Uniswap experience, so now I have like 8 phones. I'll just add a few more stars on the sticker.
Hey, don't go too crazy with it, because I was reading the policy while submitting the app and say, well, we'll bring you down if you're trying to game the system. So just try to be fair. It's fine. I think, if we get the 3-star review, that's an opportunity for us to learn and just do better. So that's about it.
How do I rate it 7 stars?
There's one guy said he wanted to rate it like 5.555, but he could not do it.
Hey, we're ranking #1 right now on Dlive. That's cool.
I can't.
Oh,
I don't even see the ratings on here.
I was like, where are we? We're not on there. And then I pulled up I'm like, oh, that's why, because we're on the freaking front page. We are.
How many followers is it now? 600 or something?
Yeah, we're at 633. And today is 633. We're at 633, and today is day 33 from Big Payday. I guess depending upon how you want to count it. If you're counting Big Payday or you're not counting Big Payday, today's day 33. So either today or tomorrow, we're expecting a big pump like we did on day 33, right?
Yeah, I put in Hexo. I know Hexo is going to do the 24-hour stream, and a lot of people are signed up for it. I know there's certain requirements to participate in that. That'll be pretty exciting. I also I know that on Amazon if you add your credit card that has cashback, like it has a cashback 4%, 3%, whatever it is.
Now you're talking about the Amazon card or just any Visa card?
It can be any Visa. Like I use Chase or business accounts or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
So any of those, if you have it accrues any balance or it has any kind of credit to give you cash back, you can spend that on Amazon. And I spent it for a top hat to for the event. It'd be fun, man.
Man, we are on the board, guys, on the homepage. Mama Rock just pointed it out, so I went to home, and we are, sure enough, the featured product at the front of Dlive tonight.
How about
Nice.
that? Very nice.
Yeah, this is exciting. Cryptocurrency in English.
Yep.
And a little bit of Spanglish.
Hexicans Strong.
Yeah, that's right. Strong.
Yeah.
It's the top thing. That's awesome. How many people are watching right now?
76 currently.
And we've got that's just on Dlive now. YouTube, we should have let's see what we're at.
Comments, right?
Oh, look who it is. Thanks for joining us.
What up, dudes?
What's up, dude?
How we doing, boys?
He's got the best hair in crypto.
I agree.
Man, what are you talking about? That's Big K over there. I learned it from him. I learned everything I know. What's up, guys? Sorry I missed out on that. What are we talking about? Hex is fucking awesome.
Fuck yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
That's what we're always talking about, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling.
Staker app, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Staker
job. Good job, Steph.
Yep. Good job laying it out there.
Yeah, it's Fireband did like 90% of the work, so
Really?
I think kudos to him. I mean, it's a joint effort. I'm just kidding, but because I'm just managing a couple of our accounts and doing most of the promotion, I also want to recognize that it's shared ventures, and if he's not here, just putting his face out there, it's like both of us just working hard towards that app.
Is that app English only? Is there an option if someone comes from a different country?
Right. Yeah. So I've been working for Google for the past 7 years, and my last project, I was in charge of localization of internationalization of the app across like 150 countries, and that's one of the toughest kind of like project to go through. Yeah. There's so much subtlety about like words, buttons, languages, color scheme, and even like the way you look at like finance. I'm gonna give you a hint that like in Europe, like nobody knows about CD. There is the equivalent, obviously, of like the bond as like a financial product. But if I ask anyone around me about who they know about like locking their money for getting yield on it, nobody will know about it. Yeah. So I think depending on where you're coming from, it goes beyond just translating the text. It goes also how do you make it easy for people in which culturally that these concepts are not even there. So I think we'll get there. But obviously we're starting with US English. I mean, that's the largest market. Even when I was looking at the demographics for Hexologist, 70% of the traffic is coming from the US. So or English-speaking countries. So I think even more than English-speaking countries. So right now I think we'll go with the demographic, and if we feel that we should expand to maybe the Spanish market, Russian market, or Chinese market, we'll just do it like slowly, step by step.
Yo soy tu hombre.
Hey, I learned that one.
Yeah.
I know localization is hard though. Go.hex.com took it started in English, but it takes you almost have to get a native speaker to do the entire localization for one area only and go over it with a fine-tooth comb because words don't mean the same thing. Translations aren't always direct. It was hard enough for me to get one app into Spanish before. That took a long ass time. We had to get a team of 5 Spanish people to proofread it. Yeah. Or Argentinian people, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't guarantee that the effort gonna be yielding any return, right? So right now we're just being very strategic. It's like, hey, let's get the core features working well. We want people to be able just to get from fiat to crypto, from fiat to hex and hex text very seamlessly. That's our first priority.
Yeah.
All the other things that comes there, I see people just dropping like feature requests and all sorts of things. we are focusing on that first missions, and then we'll see what comes next.
Yeah. It'll take some time. It'll come.
I was paying a translator to translate from the Hex website into Hindi, but that process took a really long time. One, he wasn't very responsive, but when I finally got him to deliver on it, even though the content was very close, it wasn't exact. And then I was talking to Richard. I was like, how exact does this need to be? How precise do I need to get this? And he basically told me like an analogy. He was like, well, if you were coming out with a product and you wanted to try to explain to people what it was like, how precise would you want it to be? And I was like, well, okay, I probably need to go back and do it. But then I just realized half of India speaks English anyway, so what's the point of doing this?
Yeah, India's hard too, because aren't there a bunch of different languages too?
Yeah, there's a lot of dialects, so it does get very difficult trying to cater to all of them. But I think the millennials in India are predominantly English speakers. So,
cool. Yeah, Steve, how's the channel going?
That's good, man. Thanks for your video, dude. That got me going. I had Woody 10K on. We did 2 streams together, and he put together some stats, and he talked about the linear regression graphs that he put together, and just price prediction, more so on the fundamental side than the technical analysis side. So I'm surprised. Whatever subscribers I get, whatever comments I get, it's more than I ever expected. So it's great.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
You posting it on Twitter? The link?
Yeah. I posted on Twitter. I posted on
I'll retweet you right now.
Telegram. All right. Yeah, cool.
It's interesting because in the past few months, I have not even really considered if we're in a bull market or a bear market, because I really don't care. I think that this is like because of the graphs that basically show what your ROI is, and the graphs that show, that if you're staked, this is what you're making in the APY. I really haven't concerned myself if I'm in a bull or a bear. What is your opinions? I mean, you guys are kind of core to the Hex thing, but have you been keeping your feelers out there if the general market is growing, if the general participants in crypto is growing?
Hex is mega bull. If you look at the homepage on Staker, you'll see that there is one metric that was not easily accessible before, is the number of unique address being staked. Right now it's about 18,000 unique address being staked. And so that number, I add this number for the past month or so, and it keeps going up. Every week there's hundreds of new unique addresses being staked, and the average duration is also increasing. So there's economic mass coming into X, whether you want it or not. People are staking and staking longer. That's mega bullish. For the rest of the market, I don't know, but also for Hex, that's fine.
And there's nothing else that's that transparent. I mean, there's nothing remotely as transparent in a coin you can participate in the crypto sphere.
So something we talked about in the stream that we did, the last one, was the main thing was to not look at Hex with a technical analysis mindset, and to instead apply fundamental analysis, because Hex is so much more different than anything we've seen in crypto. But also when you look at the traditional markets, stocks, it doesn't really follow that trend either, because it's a cryptocurrency. It's designed for adoption. It's designed to be peer-to-peer network. And so it's really hard to say, I think you guys were joking around before about maybe it was in Cabana or something.
Hex has its own fundamental. It says its own hexamentals. You really can't. You have to use fundamental analysis, because if you don't understand the fundamentals of the system, then it's completely will leave you thinking it's a scam. First of all,
and we've seen it firsthand, because when everything else was dumping in the market because of the COVID stuff,
like yesterday,
we went through the roof. So. We
were like the only top 20 pumping yesterday.
Yeah.
So
wow,
that's what I liked about your stream, when you guys said that, because I started listening to your stream when you guys were doing your test stream, and you made that comment, and I've said that a lot here, is that fuck TA ain't worth the shit. And if you're in crypto and you're doing TA, you really ain't worth a shit. And it is about fundamental analysis, because Hex is taking crypto back from the fucking traders who have ruined and wrecked crypto. Trading has wrecked crypto. So the direction that crypto went was because of all the trading, because of all the speculation, because of all that shit. So, I mean, Crypto Coffee can attest to that. He was out there freaking like guttering it with all of the damn, you know.
Dude, I bought Tone Vase. Imagine buying Tone Vase's course. Dude, that's a low point in my life right there.
If you simped on Tone Vase, you may as well go and end it.
Dude, I simped on him, dude. You know, imagine trying to do technical analysis on something with no technicals at all. Like, I guess the reason that people have to do technical analysis is because there's no fundamentals even for any of these coins it's all vaporware, right? So it's like, what fundamentals are you gonna look at? With Hex, you can look at who's exactly buying.
Yeah, that's why they're hoping to, like, you know, put everything on some sort of fractal or some sort of, you know, pattern or something that's
right.
They're
going to make it shape because there's.
But they started making money selling their platforms and their schools and their YouTube channels and all that crap. So they started making money on it, and the rest of the crypto world during the ICO craze was out ripping everybody off. So it was a perfect marriage. It was a perfect marriage, and they stole crypto from crypto is what they did.
Well, it's an interesting thing. You saw like Hexo this past week talking about Martini Guy or whatever, or, you know, there's all kinds of examples, but basically somebody that shows off their Lambo, and you know that they bought it because of paid groups, because they're doing call groups, or because they're shilling Bybit, you know, or something like that. So it's just, you know, I love
there's
the fundamental, you know.
Yeah, there's no better circle jerk than watching people be like, "Good job, bro."
Yeah, I see that triangle too. Really?
Superhex.win is the name of the guy who did this. Okay, yeah, I did see that. The TikTok. I'm looking at the TikTok. Sorry.
Hey, you know, we could the two easiest other like communities we could probably translate Hex to would be, of course, Spanish speaking countries and German. We have a lot of German people in Hex.
We do have a decent.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
German Telegram channel.
Abit, I just learned today, was German.
Yeah. I think someone.
I think Voidich is the guy that set up. Is it Voidich, or however you pronounce his name?
Yeah, I think it's that. I can't pronounce it. He's got good tweets.
Yeah.
Hextoshi just put your guys' put Stefan Firebun's ETH address up there.
Great. Sean Munley just had an idea that gave me an idea. It said Hex should focus on converting failed traders. I'm just thinking that could be a good ad. Like, got wrecked, try Hex. Like,
yeah, you know,
got a ring to it.
Yeah, something like that.
If you don't get help from someone,
yeah, it's like an addiction fucking therapy.
As terribly
addiction therapy meets got milk ads. I like it.
with the song from the Sick Dogs, you know, like the freaking what are those songs? They show the dogs in the pounds all shriveled up and crying and shit, you know. So you get
arms wide open.
We'll show Tone Vase sitting there, you know, on a corner, freaking.
Who's Johnny Chaos? What's his? I wish he was in the stream. You guys saw his tweet, and it was a video, and it was talking about how much hype we've heard for 3 years about $1 million Bitcoin. You know, if you have Bitcoin and it's going to go to $1 million, well, he did the math and he showed it, and I looked at the numbers, and it's true, without cherry picking whatsoever, that if you had bought Hex and the multiples are still ahead. I mean, we're really only at 75x. Of USD from its origin or whatever it is, right? But he was saying that if you took one Bitcoin that it was put into Hex in like day 33 or something along those lines, that it's it's $400,000 in value. That one Bitcoin became $400,000 worth of Bitcoin, if you want to call it Bitcoin again. And if we get this 1 penny per Hex, that's $1 million Bitcoin. That's one Bitcoin becoming worth $1 million. So people really should look at what the numbers are, look at the linear progression, look at the psychology of the market that's, you know, constantly trying to basically game the system with trading and saying, I will buy low, I will sell high. I'll be so smart and smarter than the market that I'll do it ahead of what the market's going to do, versus math. And the math is really telling about what $1 million Bitcoin is. You can take a Bitcoin and you could potentially turn it into $1 million through Hex.
I mean, somebody like that's that progression that like somebody did that, you know, like that, whoever that ETH whale is, that the Genesis whale, there's a very, very high likelihood that that individual owned Bitcoin before they ever bought into the ETH ICO. So they literally turned their Bitcoin into Ethereum and then turned it into way more Bitcoin worth of value. And then now are turning it into Hex and watching it become a lot more value. I mean, it's happening.
Yeah, and if you think about like the HODL mentality and things like that, I mean, to be able to convert Bitcoin energy into ETH energy into Hex and then set it and forget it with a progression model, you really don't have time value of money kinds of opportunities like that. Rarely.
A genuine question. Let's say, so I do have a bunch of Bitcoin on the side, and I want to convert it into Bitcoin on ETH. It's probably a question for Hex Jesus or Father Hex. What do you use? I'm not showing you shit. The last time I showed my,
well, they have that. They have that right on the hex.com right now. Richard put the like the Ren via the Ren BTC stuff.
Would you recommend Ren BTC or some other form of it?
Wait, are you trying to stake your BTC, or what are you trying to do?
No, just turn your BTC into something that you could turn into Hex, right?
You can do it. You can do it on Ren because you can do wrap BTC, and that's an RC20 token at that point.
Yeah, is there a better one though, or is that the one?
Ren's probably the best one right now.
You can do it with synthetics too, can't you?
Not well, kind of.
Yeah, but it's really technical, and you'll lose your shirt if you don't know what you're doing.
Basically,
yeah, you could. The Ren is pretty like 2-click, and there's no KYC or anything to get it done. You know, so
it's pretty decentralized. Yeah, it's but when you do trade that thing out, you basically, you know, if you trade your wrap BTC, you lose access to your wrap BTC. Because I had some people ask me that before. Where's my BTC? Well, you just bought crypto, bro.
You now have to sell it and get it back.
Literally, that concept. They just traded away their Bitcoin for crypto, and they don't have access to their Bitcoin anymore.
You mean I don't get double my Bitcoin?
I mean, that was I did have to explain to several people on the opening of Hex that no, they weren't going to lose their Bitcoin. They weren't trading in their Bitcoin for that was
one caveat that was pretty scary. That's like the first time I've ever had to sign a signature on something, and I was like sweating. I was like, oh man, am I doing this right now?
I've dabbled in quite a bit of masternodes and stuff. So back in the day, I mean, so I was pretty aware of all that. I was comfortable with it, but I mean, it still is. I can see why people are scared. I mean, it's the only feature that like nobody uses that feature. Nobody ever needs to. I mean,
I've seen more people actually signing Bitcoin to do their claims this past few weeks.
Yeah, a lot of little claims, but a lot of claims, a lot more claims.
Consistent. Like every day has a set of claims.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I just got to make a comment. Crypto Coffee, I love your videos, man. I love them to death. But I thought it was hilarious the other day though when you're like, so let's look at Hex. Oh shit, I'm on Dead Coins. Never mind. On Nomics, you were on the Dead Coins page.
Yeah, dude. I was like, oh man, it must have dropped.
Yeah, I got such a kick out of that.
Oops.
I thought it was great.
I like the Hex obituaries page that somebody made up.
That's Coffee.
That's Coffee.
Oh yeah. That's right. It's great.
Coffee does everything.
Yeah, I mean, what
I do all the bullshit back work.
He was like doing the first marketing campaign. I remember.
That's still going. Actually, it's still going.
Is it?
I could show you some stats right now.
Do you target please do. Channels? Do you target like financial channels? Who do you target?
I used to target channels, and then the channels were not working so well. So the ad placements were not ideal. I actually ended up with way more clicks based on audience placement or audience-based targeting. So I thought it would be cool, because YouTube has placements. You can target specific channels.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no. I was just reading something. Hey, Stefan Mueller, why don't you come on in and come talk to us, buddy?
Why don't you come talk trash on the stream with us, bro?
No,
we'll educate you. We'd love to educate you.
Yeah,
so
that's
let
what
him talk trash, but I'll educate.
Yeah, come on in.
Where do you get the clicks, Coffee? What is when you say it's audience based instead of channel based? What do you mean?
So the audiences are based off of people that show interest in Hex.com or interest in cryptocurrency or interest in like financial products and stuff. And you can make an interest that Google basically makes it for you. But the placement targeting didn't work out so well. And maybe that's because I didn't have, good ads for that specific demographic. But I think it's also because a lot of crypto people, it's such a small niche. So targeting crypto people, you get almost no ad showings because everyone that's on YouTube already that is in crypto probably has, YouTube Premium or ad blockers or something where, people are a little more techie and people already think Hex is a scam too. So they don't want to click on it at all. Like they see a Hex ad and they get pissed off and like probably report it. So I didn't really have a lot of luck targeting.
Well, we did. Remember the first few times you started that thing, we got like pulled down off of.
Oh yeah. I've gotten pulled down so many times, like so many bans.
Yeah.
Well, I was tweeting earlier this week. So for probably about 2 years, I think I've commented about George Gammon's channel. He talks about macroeconomics. It's nothing to do with crypto, but he had like about a year ago started to talk with some crypto influencers and so forth, like Max Kaiser and so forth, and his macroeconomics kind of Sunday commentary. And there's another guy that I introduced him to actually that I think he had at the time like 500 subscribers or maybe something like that, and he's an uneducated economist. So if you look on YouTube for uneducated economists, or if you look on YouTube for George Gammon, you'll find these two guys. And George Gammon is a Act 22 guy out of Puerto Rico, but he lives in Colombia. And he now has 200,000 subscribers, I think in less than a year, something like that. And uneducated also has about 45,000 or 50,000, somewhere in there as far as subscribers. And uneducated just this past week had talked about crypto and about the influence of crypto and these kinds of things, same as George. So you're starting to see people that are in the conventional space really prioritize crypto content. I think if you target that kind of audience more than the crypto, follower, you'll get more clicks because it's not necessarily no coiners. It is people that are saying, how can I ROI? How can I bigger pockets? How can I, look at an asset class that's, either real estate or stock or something along those lines. And I know you probably already experimented with like Graham Stephan or Meet Kevin and people like that. So those two people I could probably get. I'm trying to get a interview with Richard and coordinate that if I can get it breakthrough.
Yeah, that'd be great. I made an audience that was based off of keywords like that. But let's talk to the Stefan Mueller guy. So Stefan, what the fuck is so bad about somebody owning more coins than you? Does that make you mad, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, let's explain things to him versus, he's in here freaking, trolling. That's fine, but we're not going to troll you, bro. We're not going to fucking bash you because we can body slam your ass and kick you out of here or whatever. But we're not going to do that. We're going to explain what the fuck it is that you don't know so that you can know. All right. So you just don't come in here and start, dumping shit on everybody when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So listen up for a minute.
If we're not going to body slam him, I'm going to go grab a drink. Hang on, y'all.
He was standing by in case that was going to happen. Let me take a shot of this and you guys can.
There you go.
Talk about Stefan. So chime in on what your thoughts are on this.
Well, I mean, it's the same old argument, just like Coffee said, he gets half the bonuses. You read the contract. We've all read the contract. So you don't need to have 100 IQ to read the fucking contract. I don't. And I did. And we understand what's going on here. If you do chain analysis and you look at what's going on and you understand game theory at all, which you obviously don't because you don't know Hex's game theory. You don't know what the originating address has to do with or any of that. If you were to look at it, you'd realize that nothing is moved out of those addresses that you're talking about that are supposed to be dumping or whatever. But in all actuality, it's all of that is bringing the value of Hex up. So in your world where you think that this thing is going to dump or those coins are going to do something to the rest of the Hex ecosphere, you're wrong, because what it does is it actually lifts it up by holding coins that are liquid that are actually not moving. So you need to just understand a little bit more about the game theory and what's going on here.
There's also the idea of tragedy of the commons, right? So your idea, you think a fair distribution would be better. Any coin that's had a fair distribution of coins, you give a little bit to everybody. Nobody has an incentive to hold them and keep the price up, right? So you want somebody that has more skin in the game than you, that has more of an incentive to see the thing succeed, because if you don't, everyone's just going to dump. If you give a little bit to everybody, they're not going to care. And your second point about a mainnet, not every rolling your own crypto is really, really retarded. Like, you don't want to make your own from scratch every time. We built on top of Ethereum because that's what things are meant to do. Like, Ethereum is designed for shit to be built on top of it. Like, why the fuck would we need a mainnet? The mainnet's Ethereum.
Yeah.
Hex is the smart contract on top of Ethereum. That doesn't make any sense at all.
It's like deciding to make your own highway parallel to an existing highway when you build a better vehicle.
Yeah.
You just
when the other one already has the best devs on it to keep it going, and you don't have to provide additional security.
Yeah, we get all the things that they get.
It's also not an ICO. So there's like three things wrong with that retarded statement. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing is the bonuses don't take away from what you're going to get. So who cares if the OA gets a copy of the bonuses? It doesn't take away from you. So why does that concern you?
Plus, do you use Facebook or Instagram at all? Because like Mark Zuckerberg owns more than 51% of that company. Even
Must
right
be
now.
a scam.
Must be a scam, dude. I'm saying.
Well, if you look at the origin of civilization started with tribes that later became small villages that later became towns and cities. And so if you look at the stake of organizing those people together, it's the same sort of thing. Basically, the value of the house that I buy in this neighborhood is developed and it's already valued, right? But it's valued by other people that built that infrastructure. They built the roads, they built the sewer system, they built the electrical grid, they built all those things. And I'm going to pay forever property tax as long as I own that property. I'm going to basically increase the value of participating in that ecosystem of that village or that town or that city or whatever. It's the same sort of thing. You may have a big plank owner, you may have a big stakeholder, and that big stakeholder probably will never sell because it actually doesn't benefit them as much as them creating a bigger pie. It benefits them more to have a smaller percentage of a bigger volume than it does to have a huge percentage that they dump and sell down to zero on your head. It doesn't make sense what you're saying.
Yeah, and he said he doesn't buy centralized shit, but he's in crypto. So sorry, bro, you got centralized shit no matter where you
Sorry,
are.
bro, if you're in Bitcoin, the top 5 exchanges have 10% of the Bitcoin supply. So what do you mean you're not in centralized
And you
stuff?
get dumped on every single freaking month by the miners. So
Centralization,
centralized, you can take centralized and stuff it up your ass. But
yeah,
you know,
and if Richard or the OA were to die, pass away, whatever, so what? The smart contract continues to work forever, so it's not centralized.
And you guys,
what matters is who is buying.
bro.
What really matters is who is selling, and if the centralized organization is not selling, then who cares? I mean, okay, like Uniswap is like they have a 4-year, like we know exactly when they're going to sell those tokens. Like they're, like a lot of these coins are existing for this sole specific purpose of selling those tokens down to be on your, that's why they exist. That's why XRP has big bags of those tokens to sell down to pay for the bills,
So let me ask you, Stefan, what you are involved in then. What's your idea of a decentralized crypto? I'm curious. Show us a better project.
Decentralize anything. I mean, everything has centralization to it.
What's the top 3 in Stefan's world?
He doesn't understand the tragedy of the commons, but there's a lot of videos out there that Richard's done if you want to actually educate yourself on that.
Or the idea between technical and economic centralization. It's nuanced and people think it's a binary choice. It's like you don't have economic decentralization in any cryptocurrency. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. Look at the top 10 cryptos. Look at the top 10 ERC20 tokens and take the top 10 addresses in the rich list and look at what percentage they own.
Yeah.
But even if we are talking about economic or technical centralization in terms of the way you look at the network, there is no product, no organization that is either purely centralized or purely decentralized. It's a spectrum. So when people are saying like Stefan here, I'm not into centralized stuff. Why you should say before, like, instead of that, it's like, what is the degree of centralization or decentralization that I like? I think that would be more subtle and precise to tell, like, oh, when there is, let's say, one address owning that much percentage of the network, I don't feel comfortable, so I don't invest. Or I invest in this type of project. So I think it should show us what are the projects in which he's investing that are purely decentralized, if he likes so much decentralization. And then we'll have a more interesting conversation.
Yeah, I mean, and again, everything that you utilize inside your house is basically coming from a centralized source. Your plumbing, your water, your electricity, you're paying one place. Your cable, your internet, you're paying one place. You're centralized already. They're trying to get away from centralization.
He's talking to us through an internet service provider that is allowing him to use the
right.
And if you don't like the circle jerk, then that's what we do here. So you can just go away.
Just get off your knees, walk away.
Wait till we bust out the cracker, bro.
He doesn't want to eat the cracker.
Stephanie,
I'll
need
get
to
out of here before that.
Stephanie, you need to download the Staker app so everyone can see your rank as a chlamydia clam, and just continue moving on. Thanks for adding that, by the way, Steph.
I think I'm the first person to say chlamydia clam.
The chlamydia clam.
A couple weeks ago.
The syphilis squid.
But it's funny the Bitcoiners talk about decentralization when the news articles and everything are going crazy every time a big centralized.
Yep. They beg for banks to buy their bags.
They're like praising MicroStrategy. Like, I'm not hating on MicroStrategies, but like you just had some guy just essentially show off that he bought a bunch of your coin without making your price go up. And get it under your things, and then like, oh yes, Fidelity's in, PayPal soon. Oh, and then
they're the first to admit though that, hey, I'm not married to this. I could dump it tomorrow. They're the first to come out and say that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then so many people like get so like buzzed up about $50 million coming from some particular centralized entity that they already bought. And they're like, this has got to be bullish because someone already bought all of their economic mass and they bought all they're going to buy. What the fuck? Why is that a positive? I don't get it. You know,
I think 50 million doesn't do anything to Bitcoin.
Not only that, it's not a retail market anymore. The only reason people get excited about big companies buying Bitcoin is because they think, or they know it's the only people with enough money left to pump their own bags. The retail traders don't have enough money. The only people with enough money are the Coinbases of the world that can pay the cost to onboard a new user. Yeah. And that's why Bitcoin probably will pump again, in my opinion, but not nearly that much. It's just going to pump enough so that the big companies can offload it onto the rest of the retail guys, and that's it.
Yep.
Thanks for the diamond, Hex OG.
It's about to get really weird in here, guys.
Uh-oh.
Yep, there it is.
Roll up the sleeves. Roll up the sleeves. What's up?
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Look at
that. Do that again for me. Do that again for me.
Okay.
One more time.
You know.
There we go. Oh,
I don't want to mess up my candelabra that I got going here, you know?
You getting? Oh, look at you, candelabra. You got an OnlyFans page yet?
You know, I'm actually working on that. That's why it was taking me such a long time, you know?
DM me. I'll help you out with it, bro.
I got you. I'm accepting donations.
So wrong. So wrong.
Good time.
You bought the Richard Hart starter pack.
This is wrong.
Oh.
What's up, Bran?
I knew it was going to get weird in here.
Great to see all y'all.
Hey, Bran, I like the t-shirt. Where did you get it?
The t-shirt?
Yeah.
No way. I love the candelabras.
Is that
Amazon? Yep.
Is that Amazon?
Got the candles and the candelabra on Amazon.
Dude, I'm jealous as fuck. That's awesome.
You know,
why are they red though? They have to be green.
It's red.
He didn't like the green ones.
Richard, he explained this before that in other countries, the red actually means up. You know, it means you know, in Western culture, the
China.
green is kind of
You
go
don't
up
fuck
and
with
whatnot.
commies around here, boy.
Well, you know, I'm replicating the master. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
Well, again, Richard did comment. He said he had the green, but he didn't like the green because it didn't balance with his symmetry of his other red shit on the other side of his projection. So, kudos to paying attention to detail there, Brian.
Hell yeah, man.
I just went.
What are you ghost hunting over there, Big K?
I don't know what happened, man. This came out of focus. I was laughing too hard. My camera couldn't keep up.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to know one more dark, just to close out on that Bitcoin statement? Is we're pretty much like, Bitcoin's pretty much banking on like Wall Street kind of pumping up, Wall Street and like corporate America pumping up Bitcoin. But do you know who corporate America is going to dump all this on? Retirement funds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, who else? Who's the last dummy into the room, right? They're gonna just trick all these retirement funds into buying Bitcoin. They're gonna parade one or two of these funds, essentially, whether it's
they're already doing it.
Well, it's
They're
okay
allowing
because
you.
it's just 5% of their allocation, and it's a long-term play, so they'll be in it for the
right, Kinetics. Right, Kinetics. There's ways for you to actually do that, right?
There is, yeah. You can have checkbook control IRAs. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah,
it is possible for you to use some of the vehicles out there, the tax reduction vehicles, to invest in Bitcoin and any crypto really. But it gets really technical. You're going to pay a fee for someone to do all the paperwork for you, and then you got to be really careful not to commingle funds so you don't go to jail, because I don't recommend that to anyone. So. So it's possible, but
what do they call those? What do they call those? Self-directed IRAs. Yeah, self-directed IRA.
And
they're
the
very
self-directed
technical.
401k actually works better. But
yeah, they're very technical too, though. It takes a lot to set them up and make them, like you said, right. You have to make sure it's set up right, or you go to jail. You don't want to do that. So get a professional to help you set that up.
That's right.
I like this comment, but when dude was talking about. I don't buy centralized shit in Wendy's for attention. But my decentralization. You're living in a delusional world if you're in crypto and you think you're decentralized, boy. I'm sorry, man. You got no calm, baby. No calm, because you're coming in here with some stupid arguments. Some really stupid non-libertarian arguments, non-crypto arguments. You want to shut us down is what you want. You think that this is the scam, when in all actuality, Hex is trying to take crypto back. I want to say it again. Hex is taking crypto back from the centralization, from the traders, from all the bullshit, the rug pulls, all the crap that's going on out there. Hex is taking it back. And that's what the message that we need to be putting out there, is that Hex is taking this shit back. And I don't care how many of you shit talkers come in here in the chats, you're all going to get wrecked. You got nothing for us. We've heard all of your stupid arguments before, and we've heard all your stupid crypto arguments before, and they just don't fly, man. They don't fly.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying on Cabana's stream, that I don't want to see anybody lose money. That's not cool. It sucks. I'd like to see everyone prosper, but every time I see one of these other coins, these fucking shit fall apart on people and rug pulls, I feel Hex get stronger. We're like the Highlander.
The only one.
You feel the lightning strike and you rise and hover.
Well, and how many other cryptocurrencies have had
Duncan
3
McLeod
audits?
here, man.
Two security audits and 1 financial audit. I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, and how many just like I said, there's just dead bodies all around us, and I don't like to see people lose money, but that's what has to happen. I mean, if you touch the fire, you get burned, So I don't want to see anyone.
If you really have this conspiracy theory that you think you think the origin address is going to dump on your head one day, then just don't buy it. Don't buy in, because you're not cut out for this coin.
Yeah. I think we should actually stop trying to talk to crypto people, because maybe they don't even have any bags left, and maybe they're broke. And
well, that's the thing, is people buy Apple, boys. People buy Apple. People buy stock. People buy a house in a city. People buy things that are centralized and that other people can influence the price on and the market on. but you have to see what's the greater interest what's the self-serving interest of that party that's a whale compared to you. What's the self-serving interest? And in Hex, even if there is an OA that has control, I really don't think that I think there's might be consensus control. My opinion is that it's trust, that's a blinded trust. I don't think that it's actually Richard or anything along those lines. I think it's actually set up with more dead man switches than people think.
Yep.
You're already buying into living in a society, and in some ways, you have to trust that society you're living in. And that's what crypto, at least Hex crypto, I trust this tribe better.
Yep, there you go, right there. Because everything, I don't care if you're living out in the woods by yourself, everything is centralized when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
You've got to give up a little bit somewhere.
It requires even some your fucking atoms in your body are centralized to come together in your body. Like, you don't want decentralized everything. Then we'd just be a bunch of gas floating around. Like, it doesn't, like, what is this weird fetish with like decentralization? It's just so weird.
Yeah, I mean, and in general, mostly, I think that most people are stupid. I mean, they're at the very, half of all people are dumber than the average person. So, like, why do I really want my shit that decentralized? I want half of these idiots to have control over my shit? Absolutely not. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, so I think like the Bitcoin maximalists, like they thought, okay, the current system that we've had where they just print money whenever they want sucks. And then they see that, oh, Bitcoin has a fixed supply and eventually there will be no more than 21 million. And they think, okay, that's the answer. But there's something of a hybrid, which is Hex, where you do need some inflation for the velocity of money to keep up with keeping new people to keep wanting to enter into the marketplace. And so I think they just haven't had that education go through their mind and someone explain it to them. So
Bitcoin wasn't the end all be all. It was an experiment.
But I think a lot of people think
the community was supposed to build on it. And that's why everything else came out. Just because they started fucking with it and they started scamming it, and because they started trading and started doing all this weird shit and went down the wrong road, Hex put it back on the right road. That's what Hex did. Because when we're talking about decentralization, we're talking about taking the power away from the bank. So now you have a place that you can time lock your investment, and you're the bank. And you're part of the ecosphere. You're part of the system. That's what Hex. That's the value Hex gives you, is that you are the bank. You're the Fed. You actually help to create this, to create the system, to keep the system moving, and to profit from the system.
Yeah. Well,
and from other people,
well, I mean, like, and you said it was an experiment. Like, Bitcoin was an experiment and was continuously an experiment. I mean, I don't know how much of y'all have like read through the past, but like I when I started mining, I spent a lot of time on Bitcoin talk, and like have read through a lot of what had happened in the past. That was how I figured out what the fuck was going on here. I mean, I had forums for hours and days and weeks, and like so much that it, like, my eyes would bug out. And like what Vitalik was trying to legitimately do, like with Ethereum, was a noble cause and was trying to keep with that spirit. And like, and he does believe some of the same virtues that we ascribe to. I mean, he's one that says he hopes that all exchanges fucking burn in hell. You know, like I think that he gets that. And like, and the fact that the Bitcoin core developers at the time took the ability of these opcodes that were in Bitcoin for him to create what Ethereum is now out of the system was like the moment, in a lot of ways, that the experiment became something more religious in some ways, or something more, what's the word for it? Distilled, and it's like supposed to some sort of virtue that it didn't have, like, and that was a big turning point right there, because I mean, you could call it changed a lot of how I felt like what Bitcoin became, and what Ethereum has been that experimental playing field. And it's done very well to create something like Hex that can really take the torch and run with it. I mean, because we need to replace all of the pieces of the bank to make it really work, and Hex is one of them,
And Hex has two specific things in terms of economic, like centralization, decentralization spectrum. Not only we're looking at the liquid Hex, but we also have the stake Hex, like the shares, right? You have decentralization or centralization on the share. So who is owning shares and who is owning liquid Hex? And past Big Payday, basically the staker class, every day that passes, becomes more and more prominent in terms of economic value compared to the people that are unstaked. So I think that's another thing to consider. By the way, we asked a question to our friend Stefan Müller. Say, hey, just show us what is better in terms of centralization than Hex. He didn't reply.
Crickets. Fucking crickets.
He's a Bitcoin maximalist, I bet.
Well, so the thing is, like, if you don't trust,
I mean, the way he was
Pump your bag, bro. Where is he pumping his bag?
He wasn't talking to learn anything. He was just talking to troll. I just wanted to see if that was the case. If you wanted to learn something, if you wanted to really ask some questions, then fine. But when you start shit talking and I wouldn't buy that bullshit, is going to dump it. That's all that crap that they all have the same fucking narrative over and over and over again, just talking out of the side of their fucking neck when they don't know what they're talking about.
The same recycled argument from.
That's another thing about this particular community is if you ask a question and it's based in logic, it's based in some sense of reasoning, and you want some kind of knowledge from the other side, potentially the other side, you might come to an agreement.
Yeah.
But you don't find that. You find that in maxi organizations.
Oh yeah, we all have a lot of agreement with the people.
That's not what this is. This is actually fairly open about bring your logic, bring your examples historically, and it gets discussed.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice of you to try. But like Crypto Goose, for example, he's got a question. Maybe we can answer that one. He said, why doesn't liquidity, what keeps the liquidity from being rug pulled in Hex? It's a good question, right?
Well,
you can look at the Hex liquidity providers on pools.fyi, and you can compare it to the liquidity providers of every other coin. And you could see, although, again, that's almost like why doesn't the OA dump everything on the same day, right? Why doesn't everything rug pull on the same day? But if it makes you feel better, you can go on pools.fyi and look at the sheer number of different addresses providing liquidity, as opposed to, for example, let's say YFI token that has 50% of the liquidity provided by one guy.
Yeah. We've seen some of them where all the liquidity was provided by
right, and that's a literal rug pull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally a rug pull.
So this would be like having to pull a shit ton of rugs, and
that actually distribution changed. And again, I don't want to dox myself completely, but I'm a liquidity provider. I believe in Hex enough to make that risk, and I do it not just on the Uniswap exchange. So these are places where people can say, here's my risk tolerance, here's my profile. I can bet it all in one coin. I can try and diversify across, inside of the VC world, which have been around for quite some time. You have like maybe 40 or 50 complete flops that your money will go and burn in hell and go to zero. You will lose everything, but you'll have one or two that make up for all of that plus. So in the VC game, it's the same thing when it comes to liquidity providing. It's the same thing when it comes to betting on a token. I think that the point that was made earlier about looking at fundamentals, which hasn't been the truth in crypto for a long time, for several years, but looking at the fundamentals matters. Amen. Because this is code, and this is not based on one single person's ego or one single organization's promise of what they're going to do in the future. This is a finalized and complete product, and you can do the analysis of the code. You can look at the participants in the economic mass of the system. You can look at the expansion, like Steph was able to highlight earlier, is that there's new addresses that are staking addresses, bringing those averages to different points. There's metrics galore that are transparent that you do not see in XRP. You do not see in Stellar. You do not see in any of these other top 10 cryptos.
Any other crypto that is primarily traded on a top 10 on any exchange, you can't see these metrics. They're not available.
And then on the other hand,
by
as far as
design,
liquidity goes, Hex has 31 other liquidity providers out there by being on all the exchanges.
Also, I mean, that is true what Ellis says, that anything can be just one guy with multiple addresses. That is, I mean, I understand, like no one's doubt, but that takes time, energy, and effort. And again, that's one of those questions that people
it boils down
constantly.
To why doesn't the OA dump on your head? It's the same thing.
Yeah,
why doesn't
or like
everybody rug pull?
Or why is Richard really this is a scam? This is a 3-year, very elaborate scam that has pulled in some of the most intelligent people that I've run across in the crypto industry. Like that's.
Can you imagine if it was though?
and it's gone a whole year.
Right there. Well, just the example that you talked about a dozen times, and you really should listen to what the example is about the ROI on shorting a product or a market versus the ROI on longing a product or market. And if you are a founder of a market, if you're basically someone that basically creates a market like Hex is now, a year into this launch phase, if you look at the potential of shorting Bitcoin at $20,000 high all the way down to zero, you make 20 grand. You shorted that shit all the way down to went to $1. You made 20 grand. But what if you put $1 in and you 20,000x, right? That's the difference between a long mentality and a short mentality. And that's honestly the difference between a founder in a product, whether it's Uber or whether it's Airbnb or whether it's something that Warren Buffett would advocate. You can look at any of these things. You can say, what is your overhead? What is your potential on ROI? And if there's not a bigger motivator than to become a billionaire because of being a whale in this ecosystem, I don't know what there is. I don't know if there's any other opportunity that presents itself in your face like Hex.
Yeah.
I got a question for Steph in here. There's a question in here for Steph, Captain, if you want to bring it up.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question because it might not be clear in the UI, and so we might change the way we display that. So as I was saying earlier, there's roughly around 18,000 unique addresses that are currently staked. If you divide that, or you divide the total number of stakes per that number, that makes an average, rough average of 10 stakes per users. Obviously, we don't know if every user has one address or multiple addresses and stakes across multiple addresses, but across the board, just because of the statistical significance of the numbers we're talking about, on average, most people on average, most people have like 10 stakes put for them on their account. So that's what it means. Yeah.
So it's just an average of everyone's stakes. Divided by accounts. Yeah. So 10 stakes per account? Is 10 stakes per account a more accurate definition?
Per user, it's per address. So this number is just it's rounded up. I believe I need to look at the code. It's rounded up, but it's like this. I think it's 170 70,000 stakes. And you divide it by the number of unique address being staked.
Which is 10, so that's 1,700. And then like what I was saying in my videos, if you estimate anywhere between 3 and 10 accounts per person, you've got anywhere from, I don't know, 3,000 to 10,000 users almost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, double that.
Because I think that the number of stakes, again, when this first launched in December and people were like staking like mad and putting these things out when it was a penny and ETH to do so, I remember seeing these staking ladders that were just like ridiculous. Like every third day, a stake was coming out. I was like, holy fuck, that's gonna be so much work. It's gonna be so much time. You know, I was happy with
my bag.
Yeah. It would be nice to know though how many accounts people have, because I think a lot of people didn't realize at first that they're gonna need more than one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you cheating on me, Crypto Coffee?
What?
You cheating on me, Crypto Coffee? You got more than one account?
No, never. Never.
Oh, good. You're scaring me.
I'll never tell.
He hasn't bought in yet. Crypto Coffee's still thinking about it. He's in his evaluation phase.
Yeah.
Evaluation phase.
Waiting to pull the trigger on buying your first Hex or what?
Yeah, dude. I'm still on the fence, you know.
He doesn't trust the eye.
He's the hard sell.
You know, like the question that was the question that was asked by I forgot his name. The previous question that we were talking about liquidity, and so if you try to just like run the worst case scenario of, let's say, either the liquidity was just removed completely or partially, or even some of the OA coins were to be dumped on the market. So at the current liquidity level, if you account for all of the coins that are currently owned by the OA, it would not be even possible just to, there's not enough like liquidity to absorb that economic mass. So that's one. And at the moment where the first coin were to move, basically that would create so much like cheap Hex that everyone else in the Hex community that believes in the project regardless would be able to buy up a lot of cheap X at this point.
Yeah.
So believe me, if
And they
the
would.
OLED drops, I'm ready to purchase a lot of X.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Oh yeah,
it's the same thing. So yeah, so I don't think that it will happen because it would be like founder suicide. I think it's a ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's enough people that have some cash, like some businesses or some other jobs, and cash generating to put back into X to sustain the project. Because there's so many people that are just stake for an average of 4.5 years. People will want the community will want to support the project regardless. So if you run the worst case scenario, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely spot on. That should be highlighted because it's not just this 9 people in this particular room. It's really hundreds of people that are, framed in a way that say, hey, here's the opportunity. It's almost like, your neighborhood and that house across the street where that person's been, under market or whatever the opportunity might be, and you end up buying because you just see it. I think it's the same thing. I think the critical mass of people that know enough about Hex to say, I'll pull the trigger on buying a OA sale is there for sure.
See, that's it exactly right there, is that we look at it as an OA sale, not an OA dump.
Yeah. I want it to go back to 4 zeros, 5 6. Yeah,
I
man.
miss those 4
If
zeros.
I knew what I know now, I only knew what I know now, motherfucker.
Man,
Mike Jones says otherwise. He says, why would you ever want to hold this coin after the big payday? It's never going to make a new all-time high. That's why the majority is not staked. You dump right before big payday on the staked bag holders.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He doesn't understand. So
many things.
Big payday doesn't get minted.
I feel like 9 people shouldn't be answering this.
I agree. I hope that Mike has hundreds of millions of Hex, and I just really hope he follows through on that. I really do.
Please sell all of it right before big payday. Give me at least a day to put it in a stake before big payday, please.
But cryptocurrency
is a
little better.
Yeah,
I think you have to.
Who's going to answer him? Hold on. Who's going to answer him? You going to talk, Gary?
This one? Yeah. So let's assume the OA is 75%, right? And then you add, it's actually only 13% of the community staked right now. So 75 plus 13 is 88. And if you're assuming that the OA is benevolent or neutral, which we all are, we've all internalized that, we're all okay with that, then that's only 12% of the total supply that can ever actually dump on you. It's great. It's awesome.
Yep.
So subtract the OA, and then the OA is just there to keep the market cap up.
Yeah,
12%. Am I being too honest,
Mike? Just to let you know, there's only possible of a 12% dump on your head on big payday. And you, I don't know what you think, but the big payday, you have to be staked in order to get the big payday. So it's not like they're going to get their coins and then dump. So there's going to be a day that people are going to take profits, and we might see a price change, but that's normal.
But the people who
and most people just don't internalize. They just really don't get it, because when these questions pop up, I see it in the Telegram pretty often. They hear the word share, they understand, they hear the word share rate, they just don't get what it means to dump when you have a compounding, an exponential number. You have a potential for exponentiality.
Yeah,
the potential.
And a dump on the 19th of November means nothing to my stakes in 2025, in 2029, in 2035. It means nothing to those stakes. So that day is irrelevant.
Because you're not going to get your big payday until you mint. So I don't know why people think that there's just going to be massive amounts of people early end staking or ending their stakes, and you're not going to get it until you're ready to mint and your stakes matured, or the staker class is going to get it. So
and there's still going to be a portion of people that might dump on big payday.
What you'll see as far as if you are paying attention, if you're watching this stream and you pay attention to Hex.live on big payday day, you might see a lot of people that the day before that stake. You might see a spike up in staking because people are trying to get this doubling of their coin or tripling of their coin or whatever it is. And they may have that mentality that they're just going to sell the next day. So you may see more participation, but that also means that you're going to shrink that supply and you're going to change that price point. And the human psychology of seeing that number go up it's fucking gripping you, dude. It's gonna grip you.
And you go into go.hex.com and then you type in like 3 days, and then you kind of start to experiment with, what if I do it for 1,000 days? And you see that number go up, you're gonna be like, oh, I'll stake it for 1,000 days, but I'll end stake it right away, thinking they're gonna get that.
Yep.
And then they're not.
They're gonna get 95% of their shit gone because they don't pay attention to exactly what has been transparent for more than a year.
I mean,
read the exclamation lay inside the Telegram group. If you type that and you go to the layman's guide, if you just do some Google YouTube research, you'll see that people, like you just said, they're going to see that ROI potential. They're going to stake for 1,000 days, and then they're going to say the next day, oh, let me dump it now that I've got it. And they're going to totally blow their shit. They're going to blow their shit.
Well, and the thing is that there's so many people that there's so many people that do understand what Hex is about, and there's the people that don't understand what Hex is about. You're not going to be able to affect it like you think you are. There's less people that know that know nothing about Hex that are actually thinking that they could dump. So this whole thing is really a facade. That's not happening. The people that are in Hex and staked are playing a long game. They're not playing a short game.
Right. And I consider the OA part of that too.
And if you don't trust the OA, who cares? You can trust us. Look at how many people are on here. Look at the whole community that's so active and vocal.
You don't have to trust anyone.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, don't trust me. Trust our judgment, because we've figured this thing out, is what it is.
Yeah.
Trust our judgment and trust Richard's judgment. I ain't saying to trust anybody, but trust people's judgment when they're trying to show you what a project is about, what crypto is about. You know, there are good players in crypto, and this is that space. Hex is that space. The community
this really is the diamond in the rough. It
really wants people to do well in crypto.
If you look at this thing that has been developing for 2 years, you know, people think about the December 2nd as the launch date, but this was well over a year. I mean, a lot of people in this room remember when it was 4 weeks. It's going to launch in 4 weeks. And, you know, so you think about the 2 years of absorbing, of basically trying to break what the code would be, what the founder intention might be. People that like gave me shit a couple weeks ago because they said something about my ranking in the Telegram group about like 300 or something. I said, dude, I've been admin a couple of times. Like, I've been in and out, and I would throw some shit, and when I would throw some shit, I would get kicked out because I said something that was, you know, out of my frame or whatever it was, and my misunderstanding. And then later I would educate myself, and I'd come back in and I'd be an admin again as far as that group. But you think about the 9 people in this room. I don't know how many people have been here a long, long time, but a lot of us have. And you think about each of us absorbing 500 hours worth of content, 1,000 hours worth of content. How many of these streams, how many of these back and forth and sounding boards have you had an opportunity to participate in? How many times have you been a participant in a room just as far as chat and writing something out, and then having someone like an RG3 or Crypto Coffee or Litecoin make a comment, and then you understand more? You do your own research. You do the actual thing that's promoted inside of crypto that people rarely ever do.
Yeah.
They listen to somebody like Martini Guy and they say, oh yeah, I'm going to buy that particular thing that we know is a shitcoin, and I'm just going to get in and get back out really quickly before other people get fucked over. And so you got to look at what Hex really is.
They've once again, they've been calling us scammers all year, and all of their crypto heroes out there and the freaking YouTubes and the Twitters have been wrecking them, been pushing them into coins that have been rug pulling on them, wrecking them, bullshitting them, not doing what they said they're going to do. This whole halvening thing was just a big stroke off for all.
Oh my God! Look at the halvening promotion. That was crazy.
It was crazy. Absolutely insane. And what did they get out of it? Nothing.
$11,300. That's what it's gotten out of it. 11,300 is what Bitcoin was a couple of days ago.
Which is respectable, to be honest. It's respectable. I mean, it's
not happening crazy.
It's still no. But I mean, it's sitting at a good price as far as I'm concerned. But if you think it's going to get any much better than that, all these 20,000, 50,000, 400,000 moon boys with a crypto that is gimping along with a fucking set of crutches. I mean, you're insane to think that. It was an experiment, and it hasn't done what it was supposed to do. Other cryptos are doing things better. Period. End of story. Tether's getting ready to take its place right now.
Yeah.
So a bit Hex had a question in your. He was like, "How do we use the Staker app to onboard more people? Like, what's a strategy that we could?"
That'd be great. That'd be to know what the marketing tool is. For
I mean,
Staker.
they're going to need MetaMask and Staker both on the same app. Sorry, Steph. Go ahead. Are you?
We can't hear you.
You're muted. You're muted, Steph.
You're muted, bud.
You know.
You're not muted on StreamYard. You muted on your.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So I mentioned it a couple of times on that right now we released Staker Lite, which is kind of a read-only supercharged version of Dlive. We have new features that will tell you if you were to emergency and stake, how much it would cost you. So you guys were talking just earlier about like, hey, if someone just wants to stake the day before the big payday and unstake before that, well, if they have the Staker app, they will know that they will be completely like fucked if they want to stake, because it tells you if you unstake now, you'll lose 100% of your stack. So in terms of onboarding, we're currently working on this two things. The first pillar is the fiat to Hex piece, and we're using third-party providers. They're going to be embedded in the app. So it's not perfect because it depends on jurisdiction, where you are in the world. But I think we'll have like 2 or 3 providers to, based on where you are, it should be okay for the most part. The worst case scenario, then we'll have a link to Coinbase as well. Yeah, just open a Coinbase account and just do the crazy things of sending something to your address. But that's the first pillar of fiat to X. And then the second piece is, once you have your X, how is it for you just to stake it? How do you do it? What is the nice strategy? And so we'll provide easy assistance for you just to look at like what people have been doing historically, what is their current projected ROI, and all this type of things. So that's the vision for us in the next couple of weeks. We'll do our best to get something out before big payday, but it's not guaranteed. We really want to make it safe and secure. We'll have some audits of both the application and some of the backend function that we're running. So just to tell you, everybody, how serious we are about the process. But I have an example that is very exciting. I just retweeted that 1 hour ago. You have this guy, Short Circuit, that says literally got 4 new Hexicans onboarded tonight just by explaining the Staker app and the future functionality. They were more excited than I was that they were at the beginning. Thank you, sir.
That's awesome.
So that tells you that even with right now, one guy was able just to convince people that, hey, this is legit project. Get on board. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
So
it's legitimacy more than anything else.
You need to look to a bit of conviction and show people that these things are legit. And maybe, I don't know if the UI or the website, it looks maybe more appealing that the Hex.win, whatever it may be in people's mind. That's just one example, one data point that shows that even today, I think it's easier to onboard people into X than it was yesterday.
Yeah. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to legitimize the whole space in general, the crypto space. Like no other, not even Bitcoin has apps that look that good. Yeah.
It was pretty nice when I think that's the only apps they have, wallets.
I've already started to. I was talking about this with Cabana too earlier. Coffee that like I've already started to like kind of change my pitch to people that I talk to a little bit, because like I'm not a hard sell kind of guy. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to be like, because the big payday is coming up, it's coming up. But like, talk to somebody brand new about this, about investing their money in something, and be like, all right, 30 days, man. You better get in 30 days.
Yeah, you don't want to sound like a crackhead, dude.
Yeah. So, and not only that, but like, I'm also thinking in the future too, that like, I know that like, we're all going to be doing this for the next 15 years minimum, so like, I want to change my marketing pitch to people, and Staker is definitely a big part of that, because I know that everybody wants that. That's what they want. That's the first question that I get asked is like, what do I download? That's the first question that I ask. And I'm like, well, it's a few things and it's going to take some time. And then you can
do it from your phone, you have to do it from a website. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to your You know, yeah.
No, I've like catered to everybody. So like I have people that I know that have Android, you know, that I've gone through getting them through MetaMask and Fire and everything on there. And same thing with iOS use. I've done it all.
Yeah.
And
you
like
to take photos of front and back of their driver's license before they contact Coinbase, so it's already ready for them when they
I'm like this is gonna be. I'm like yeah, you're at this point. Yeah. So this is going to be a super helpful piece. Like it really is going to make my life and like everyone's onboarding people a lot easier going forward, and have like a something to work, to really cornerstone things with with some sort of referral bonus too on top of it. Fantastic.
I'm a sales guy, so the referral bonus, I just want to know what that is going to be, what that looks like.
Is there a referral step? Is there a referral thing or not?
Yeah. So there's a couple of like details for us to iron out, but basically, if you want to put a referral scheme in place, you need to from us just building the app, we need to build incentive for anyone that currently use the app to onboard someone else, right? So we need to give out something, right? To give out something, obviously, we want maybe to redistribute something that we would have gotten by just making the app like profitable or sustainable, right? So if we were just to gather a bit of revenue on some of the transaction, whether Uniswap or some of the stakes you put in, that slice piece of revenue will be then shared back with whoever is onboarding someone onto the app. And then that's their stake. So if they behave a certain way, let's say you onboard someone that is then staking for more than a year, then you get whatever points, I think, in the app that gives you access to more stuff. Either we're giving away some Hex, or we're giving you access to more stuff in the app. So we are currently figuring out the details because the way we set it up and the different parameters, there's a couple of parameters, and we need to fine tune it so that it works for all of the parties involved. And I think for us, it's just the ability just to boost up the onboarding onto the app and ultimately onto X.
Cool. Let us know what you think of. Are you open to suggestions or like?
What do you think about having tiers? Whether it's a paid app versus the free app. Almost every app, whether it's a game or whatever, has a freemium, and then it has a paid. And the other, what if you refer people, you have access to metrics that everybody else doesn't have that isn't referable?
The app will be free. The app will remain free. We'll see if we can just collect a small fee when people are actually using our meta transaction. So let's say you just put some Hex, you're staking some Hex, and then we will have a receipt before confirming, say, hey, staker, the network is taking some gas fees, and staker is taking a small fee for facilitating, let's say, that ladder. And then, so that revenue that we're generating, then we'll share it back with whoever is referring new user onto the app and onto X, based on the behavior that they have, right? So if someone wants to trick the system and try, I'm just onboarding a new, like seemingly new address, and actually what I'm doing is just self-referring, we'll try to mitigate that by looking for clues in how people are behaving, the people you're onboarding behave. So it might be conditional based on how long the people that you're referring is taking. Right? If they're taking more than a year, then you get something. If they're taking for 10 years, maybe you get more of that revenue.
Right.
So everybody has incentive not only to bring people on board, staker and Hex, but they have incentive to convince them that it's in their interest to look at the longer term view on the project.
Well, I'm really super excited about that. Like, I think that all the cats that I have helped to get into Hex will be make sure they ask me straight up on it. Most people are like, "Hey, you're making sure to get your piece of this too," and I'm like, "Yeah, there's a referral thing, whatever." So like, I think that'll be an easy sell for me and super helpful. I mean, like, and I like the idea of being able to incentivize like different rewards, like what people are actually doing with their Hex. That really makes it a lot easier to sell people on moving up on their length of stakes.
And similar to Hex, there'll be a two-way referral. So both the referrer and the person being referred will just get something out of the
awesome
interaction.
Internet Lurker said, "When's the staker free coin airdrop?"
Well, refer your friends, and then you'll get some free airdrops.
So it's most likely just to get. We're gonna implement it in a way that it's easy for us. It's easy for people that we're onboarding. It's easy for people that want to refer people. So it's most likely to be some hex being like distributed to your account, to your address, whatever it's there. It will be most likely some hex. We'll see what we can do in terms of, like we were discussing with Kyle about doing already staked hex that we donate. So whether it's the referrer and the referee, one of the things we could do is like, thank you just for just being onboarded in the app or referring someone, and we give away already staked ladder that will be provisioned against an account for yourself. So we're looking into that's what we're doing now. That's why it's gonna take us a couple of weeks, because we've been just finalizing some of the details on how we do that, and how it looks, the details. So yeah, exciting stuff. I think the same way people have been excited about receiving the Staker Lite, you'll be excited about the next version. We're not gonna disappoint, I think. I'm a power user, and I want to get something that I can onboard, my parents and my friends. So make sure you can be sure that it will be good for everybody.
Make duct tape token.
What do you say?
Oh, make duct tape token.
I mean, just the fact that I don't have to go over a whole wing of cryptocurrencies in what ETH is and why you also need that, is just fantastic.
Yeah. So this is coming for sure. I mean, this is one of the killer features. Is like we've tested it with Kinetics tested it in September with Johnny Chaos. They clicked a button. They did not have to ask us for getting some ETH, and we gave them an account with a bit of hex. They stake their hex, and at never any point in time they had to put any ETH on whatever test account we gave them. So that's already working. We're just revamping a few things and making it nice and pretty with a nice notification. Once you submit something to the Ethereum network, it'll come back in a few minutes with a validation of things have been confirmed on the network. So, but yeah, we've validated that these kind of features, and it's definitely coming. That's really exciting, because most people now that will be interacting with X might not even have to know about Ethereum. That's the beauty of it.
Yep, that was beautiful. When we were testing it out, that's the thing that I really thought the highest of, is that you didn't have to worry about ETH. It didn't discuss ETH at all. It's just a click the button. It set my stake ladder for me on a preset amount, and in the future, it looks like there's going to be custom ones as well. And it was seamless. There's no blockchain interaction. There's no ETH interaction. It's just do exactly what the button tells you to do.
So when is Steph having his interview with Vitalik, talking about this?
Yes.
Because an emissary, again, one camp and one tribe reaching out to another tribe, the chiefs rarely talk before the emissaries do. And I think there's actually a lot of people inside the Ethereum Foundation and network and things like that. I know there's a lot of people inside of Hex that are also on both camps. And I think that's possible. I mean, with Staker app, once it's proven, distributed, and people are actually participating in it, I think there actually will be a bigger stage that we're part of.
Yeah, I agree. We're just going to be taking a very staged approach where we're delivering the value. We're just waiting to see if things are working, if the community likes it, if we can actually justify, because this is our primary mission. We can justify that on the net basis. We released Staker version 1.0. We at Staker Lite now we have 1.0, and a month after the release, because we'll have data also coming from the app. This is how many people we've been able to onboard. This is how many people have been using the referral systems, and how many people have been staking, and how long for anyone passing through or staking through the Staker app. So once we have this data, we can now be able to say, hey, that was our missions. We delivered, and eventually that was successful. So then it's easier just to come to anyone in the crypto industry saying, hey, this is what we are doing that seems to be working. We're using cutting edge technology where people can just transact or stake ERC20 without even thinking about Ethereum. People will be mind blown. I think once they see what we are doing now, outside of the Hex community, people say, oh, okay, no MetaMask, no thinking about gas fees, all those type of things. Very few projects are doing what we're doing now. So.
I'm blown away. I think it's amazing what you guys did. It hasn't even come out the full extent of it, but I'm just blown away by what you're saying.
Okay. So yeah, we are a couple of weeks out again. Security is top of mind for us, so we won't rush anything. And when we feel ready, we'll release that staking features.
Quick
and
response to Mike Jones.
On that note, I'll have to leave you guys. It's been a blast to be here this Friday, like every Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody again for the support. Let's catch up soon. Good luck for anyone doing the sport challenge. I'll be there.
All right, man.
Thanks for coming on, Steph. Appreciate it. Hey, everybody, don't forget, everybody who's in the chat rooms, we've got 75 people or 74 people in YouTube. We've got 111 over at Dlive, and we've got a few over in Twitch. We are having a 1 million Hex giveaway, and all of you here are able to participate in that. And how do we do that? So if you're new, if you don't know, and thanks Children of Grave for cleaning up the chat. I turned that function on. I turned the follow only function on. I didn't have it on. I just wanted everybody to be able to come in here. But since there's a lot more people coming in, it's probably getting rougher to handle the chat rooms. But thanks for the Banhammer freaking melee that you had there. We've got 1 million Hex we're going to give away. We're going to give away first prize of 700,000 Hex. We're going to second prize of 200 and a third prize of 100,000 Hex. And just to put that in perspective, an average return on a 15-year stake is looking at like on the models 250x on a 15-year stake. So what would somebody do the maths on that real quick? So 100,000 at 250x
million, 25
and then at today's price, put today's prices in there. Just put today's prices in there. What would that be worth?
I got 100K today.
25 million times
So that is a grand total of $104,879.
so that if you staked this third prize, you'd get over $100,000. What would first prize be at 700,000 Hex staked out at 15 years at 200,000?
It would be
grand. Again, if they staked it at current prices and Hex never changes in price,
never changes in price.
If it never changes in price, that is
700,000.
$1.5 million.
So that's what we're giving away.
So RG3, I think you might regret this giveaway.
Yeah, right.
I got enough Hex. I'm all right. I'll give some to the other people now.
Funny, Jim. Hey, we're like I got the go. We're gonna do Bingo Earth again this weekend as well too.
Oh, shit.
So we're doing that as well. And we only got two episodes. Yes, well, it's 1 million overall. 500,000 Hex is being given away on the final day, 2 days before Big Payday. So if y'all want to get on that, come play bingo after Hexologist Sunday night this weekend, and then 2 days before Big Payday, the 15th. We'll be doing our last one, and anybody who plays gets entered into the raffle for 500,000 Hex. So not as cool as a full million, but we're close.
Hey, you know what's great?
Hot on the tail.
If you take that 500,000 and you stake it for longer, you have the same effect.
Yeah. You can stake it longer. All right. So the way to qualify, guys, is I'm going to pick 3 names out of the chat room. And no spamming the chat room. When I ask you, I'm just going to say hey RG3 in the chat room when I'm ready for it. Not ready yet. And then you got to follow us on Dlives. You've got to subscribe to us on YouTube, and you've got to follow me on my Twitter, which is RG3_pirate. And you do all those 3 things, you get your name chosen. We're going to spin a wheel here when we hit 1,000 followers on Dlive, and we are moving up fast. We went up to 633 this week. We were like in the 500s last week, lower 500s. So weekly we're cranking. So a couple more weeks, which is coming close to the big payday, and we'll spin that wheel. And I'm also if you're watching this on recording and you're not watching it live and you're in another country and you're having trouble getting up on time to get in, what I'm asking you to do is on the day of the stream. So we stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So on the day of the stream, if you will send me your Twitter DM into the Twitter, I will. I'm choosing 3 names from outside. Those of you who can't watch live, I'm choosing 3 names outside also to fill up the wheel. So if you DM me on Twitter on that day, I will choose from your names too. So we're picking 6 names a day now. So that's where we're at. Not yet though. I'm going to still fill the chest up. I'm still putting some money in the chest too. Let's see.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that hated on Hex without doing their research. I think a lot of those people are going to regret it as Hex continues, year 1, year 2, year 3, just like with Bitcoin. When that came out, they were calling it a scam and it was used for darknet and all these things. And, over 10 years later, it's up 1 million X. I just want to say that, I think Hex will be very similar in that regard as well, that it'll stand the test of time. And, the people that didn't get in, they'll be kicking themselves a few years down the road when they're buying Hex significantly higher than what it is now.
Hopefully they just fade away.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
But no, not yet, guys. Don't spam the chat yet. I'll tell you when to do it. So hold off on anything right now because everyone's spamming the chat up. So hold off. It's not ready yet. And I've got a chat, restream chat that shows me the Twitch, the YouTube, and the Dlive chat. So I can see everybody's chats from all of the different platforms.
And along those lines, we only need 365 more followers before we do this giveaway.
365 more followers. So if you
one every day of the week.
If you were watching Mama Rock earlier, she was telling you guys to see that white arrow up on top. If you're in the Dlives, go up there and click on that button, and you can invite friends and copy the link and share the link out and do that kind of stuff.
Be on the Twits.
Yep, post it on the Twitters, the Discords, the Telegrams, and the nice thing is that we don't talk about this enough, but you also get 10% of anything donated in the form of lemons by the people that you invite. So there's an incentive for you, a monetary and a lemon incentive for you to invite people to the stream.
Yep.
Lemon incentive.
Lemon scented? Is that what you said?
Lemon scented.
Lemon incentive. Yeah.
Yeah, it says 16. Yeah, 16 people whopped out.
Cass Rowlett, I agree. How do we not have 1,000 followers? If Hexo has it, every one of those guys that is a follower on Hexo show should just drop in and just hit the follow button at least once, even if they don't watch it.
Yeah, but Hexo is sexy.
That's true. And then we let guys like you on. So.
He's got.
I mean, he's also pretty G-rated. That's the other.
He's got a family show.
What are you talking about?
People can leave their kids watching Hexo. It's different.
Yeah,
that's true.
Half of the women who have any respect for themselves don't watch the show, and then
his show.
Half of the other people that have any respect for themselves don't watch the show. So
his show is Sesame Street, and ours is Wonder Shows. And if you guys ever checked that out back in the day from Dick House Productions,
ours is like Aqua Teen Hunger Force over here.
That's right. That's right.
Venture Brothers.
Nice.
The problem is I just opened the door and let any of you guys come in here is what it is.
That's true. You did start this. It's your own fault.
No, you always say you get the community you deserve, RG.
You got that right. You get the community you deserve, not the one you want.
That's right. You know what? One thing we could say about shares that's pretty cool. We can call them master nodes. You can think of shares as master nodes in a way. It's kind of cool. Because we literally have, they're pretty cheap right now. Isn't it like $44 to get like 1 trillion shares right now?
I thought you said
Well,
chairs at
Yeah,
first.
that's what I thought. I was like, what?
I'm like, yeah, this is my master node right here.
So yeah, to be in like I mean, Masternode's always had like some sort of tiered based bullshit too, where you're like, oh, I'm a better Masternode if I've got 50,000 coins instead of 10,000.
How big is your Masternode?
Yeah, how big is your Masternode? You know, so each level of
Masternode envy.
Yeah,
it's happened before. Yeah, that's
no, but it does. It does.
I like in general. I like lately. I've been enjoying Richard's analogies to Bitcoin, how shares represent hash rate, and how like he's really in the past couple of interviews has really like delved a little deeper into that, and I like that. Like I mean, the analogies work for people, because, especially people who understand the ones who've spent a lot of time understanding one system.
Yeah. And those are the fundamentals that we were talking about. The fundamentals. And
there's another analogy, which is Richard is Satoshi if Satoshi didn't bitch out.
That's right.
So
Play anonymous.
Hey, Adrian said finally is Satoshi.
But it's true. I mean, Crypto Coffee makes that point, which Richard has said in the past, is if he actually believed in Bitcoin, Satoshi would still be speaking. Now, of course, he may be dead, likely is dead, but we have the benefit of a Satoshi and a founding of a coin, which is Hex. And we have the benefit of people that speak truth power. I mean, a lot of people, not just Richard, there's a lot of people that speak truth power.
No, that's what this whole show's about. We speak the truth to the crypto space. I've always done that. I've always, I don't have any disrespect for Bitcoin. I don't. I think Bitcoin is amazing. I think it gave us something that, that the world had needed. But it was an experiment, and that experiment needs to be expounded upon. And if we are in technology, if we are really freaking, cypherpunks and crypto freaking geeks, why are we sitting there looking at a closed door? When a door opens, you don't sit there and look at the closed door. You go through it and you move on. That's what has happened with Bitcoin. And the whole crypto world is losing its fucking mind with this whole, tribalism bullshit, and they're calling everything else a scam.
We get both. We get the best of both worlds. Like with Richard and the origin address, you get the mystique of Satoshi, and you have a founder that can be public and give us all the benefits of that. You get the best of both worlds.
Because he's speaking that his knowledge on a regular basis. He's pouring it out there on a regular basis. That's why
when you tell someone to read the code, it's very I'll be honest, it's kind of misleading, because like there's so much more to all of this than that. There's real life lessons baked into the product that you have to learn to understand how this works the way it does, and it's way more than that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I gotta go. I just got a wife call for babies and things and stuff. So peace out, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Thanks for hanging out.
That's the way it is. Wow, one of our original Hexicans, Patrick, he might be coming in. I don't know if you guys remember Patrick Fortner, I think is his last name. Oh, yeah. He came on, he did our second or third stream, man. I mean, it was one of our first streams he came on.
Yeah.
Now we're at 55, 56.
Nice.
Oh, we're way over 50, because I only count the episodes as the episodes, and then the FN Hangout is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Hex fucks. Who's this guy? It is. It's Patrick. What's up, dude?
It is. Oh,
Heck yeah, man.
Excellent.
Now I can hear you.
German.
Yeah, the Germans are back with advanced
awesome
setup.
Hexicans with a ridiculous accent.
Yeah, it's my Austrian accent actually.
Yeah. Well, welcome, man. It's good to see you. We haven't seen you in a long time. Shit.
Dude. You know
that Oompa band or something?
What?
I said, are you in an Oompa band or something? What is that you're wearing?
He's asking.
It's like a bit more dressed up for the stream,
Yeah, you did.
Our Hexcotchian is also here.
Hey.
He's called Mellow.
It's like a parrot on the shoulder. I love it.
Yeah, and actually I was like, how do I get it that nobody thinks that I'm giving them financial advice or something like that? Now I have a Mellow in my stream, so it's like obviously, So.
Hey, you were really dropping the knowledge bombs early in the day, so I'm interested to hear. We haven't talked to you for shit, man, since you were like our third stream, I think. And
yeah, I was also on the 24 hours live stream.
Yeah, you were on the 24-hour, but we haven't heard you, man. We'd love to hear your assessment of what's going on with Hex, how it's looking.
It's looking great right now. I mean, we get stake out. The staking function will be added soon. Thanks, Steph and Fireburn, for this again. We have the big payday coming up. All the Hexican networkers are like in their last, how do you call it?
Their orgasm phase.
We're in the final stretch here. We're in the final stretch.
Yeah, it's a final stretch.
I can hear you. I gotta grab something here.
The orgasm window. This is where it can come at any time.
Yeah, and actually, the Friday night hangout is a bit tricky for me because I'm working night shifts, so I'm able to go in the chat. But right now here in Europe, it's 6:30 a.m. I literally dropped out of night shift a few minutes before, and I thought I need to come on with you guys. Yeah.
Good to have you, man.
Yeah, because German community is also going more viral. So we put out the first videos explaining the staking function, Go Hex Win, how to get into ETH, how to move those ETH into Hex. And in the coming days, we are going to talk with the German community OGs. So like Luke, you know him, he's the admin from Cybev channel. Yep. And also Paxton is also German speaking. The beer god from the beer chat. Yeah. Making a nice fat video or something. No, I don't know. I also called him and said, yeah, man, but if you want to make like a bearish video, then let's talk on November 20th or something like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of interesting to have like guests that have been haters, regardless of the outcome of Big Plant Payday. I think it'd actually be interesting mark in time in history, because I think if the boat gets a little bit rocky, it's still going to just sail on. It's going to be interesting. Like, people made comments earlier, and you just say in your head, that's not going to age well. What you're saying right now, if you were a real person's face on screen and you were not masked by a screen name, it's not going to age well what people are saying. It's really, I think there's going to be a big tell soon.
Yeah, I mean, Hex is here to stay, so it won't go away. No matter if you buy or you don't buy, Hex will be there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, I don't know if you heard the question, but a question for you guys. What do you think will be the total share pool on Big Payday?
Share pool.
The share pool.
The cost per share?
No. Right now it's like a bit more than 10 million trillion shares. So, how far that might increase? What do you think?
What affects it the most? Is it the number of people staking it, or what is it? What is the change?
Yeah, like new stakers getting new shares, increasing the total share pool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've got to see the staking pool advance, and I'm going to imagine that a lot of people are going to be going for real long stakes. So it might pump it up. I don't know. I
the staking percentage right now, it's like 12.9, 13% or something. Yeah. I think the staking percentage will go the day before Big Payday. It'll hit. I'll put a 25%. I'll say it'll go up to 25%.
I agree.
Yeah, then we are not far separate, because I'm thinking in terms of the total share pool. So it's right now at a bit more than 10 million trillion shares, and I'm expecting that to go to 20 million trillion shares.
1 bagillion, gazillion, gagillion.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You're gonna do it with the pinky. You have to do the pinky when you do it. You know? 1 million trillion.
Yeah, million trillion years.
$1
million.
Gagillion, gagillion.
You know, you guys were talking earlier, like when shares became more rare than Hex. I guess it will take some time. No, it was in the other stream, right? Crypto Coffee, you mentioned it.
Yeah, that'll probably be in like 2200. Like the year 2200.
Okay.
I mean that's not going to happen for a while, right?
What are you talking? Are you talking about the end of shares, or are you talking about
when the share price goes lower than the Hex price? Or
no, that there are less shares in the system than
Then
Hex.
there are Hex in the system. Yeah.
Right.
So it's like more than 1,000, 10,000 X, something like that.
There would be less than 600 billion shares or whatever remaining.
Well, a lot of them are going to be gone after the first 15 years, right?
There's a lot of shares out there, man. There's like,
but they're all staked to 15 years right now.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't looked at that number yet.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you'll never be able to figure out how many people are going to actually restake their shares or whatever. But as they restake, though, the share price is exponentially growing. So it's less and less shares that are going into the Hex ecosphere. So you're not going to. You're just. I think after year 15, you're going to see a significant drop.
In the total number of new shares being issued?
Yeah, well, no, of total number of shares in the pool, like Patrick's talking about. I think you're going to lose a lot of those shares in the first 15 years. I don't know.
I don't think it'll taper off as quick as you think.
I won't see my ads restaking. Fucking make it 15 years. I'm spending my shit. Sorry, kids.
I mean, then I would have a follow-up question to the first one. When do you think will be the peak in the total share pool? Because we know that shares will become more rare or more expensive over time. So the total share pool will peak out at a certain point, and from there on, slightly, but with up and down spikes, getting smaller and smaller.
2022 or 2023 in this cycle, I'm guessing.
I agree.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are thinking that it will spike on big payday, but actually I think that also after big payday we will still have so much more people interested in Hex that that they will still try to get as much T shares as possible, and therefore the total pool might peak at the later stage.
No, I think so too. Like they're like we have to look at all the stakes from year 7 to 15. Those are out of play. Maybe 7, depending if it was like an OG that staked the 7-year stake. Possibly it might make it in time for the market top. But most 7-year stakes are out of the question because you'll get wrecked on emergency unstaking them, right? So all the 1 to 6 years, because if you have a 6-year stake, you can emergency unstake it at 3 years without penalty. So that's in play. But the 7 years at 3.5.
Don't say without penalty. Please just say without principal penalty. You know?
Yeah, without principal penalty. Well, I mean, without you know what I mean. Yeah, without.
Yeah, but you know,
you're losing the interest, but you're giving it to me and everyone else in the staker class.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you unstake 1 day of a long stake, so at least 180 days, if you unstake it 1 day before it's 100% progress, you will still lose a third of your total interest. Maybe a bit less because dynamic system, but it's kind of a third.
Yeah, if you have a 1-year stake, right, and it's 365 days, if you emergency unstake at 364, you lose 50% of the interest.
No, it's not 50% of. Yeah, okay, it's 50% of the interest. So, like, I'm talking about the whole thing. So it's like about 1/3 of what you could have get 1 day after. You know, so
yep.
Always go to 100% progress.
So there's another point that was brought up in here by Sig EP148. God, these names, RG, I agree. He says, don't forget about good accounting extending beyond year 15. I'll bet there's going to be some good accounting that because your shares don't go away when it's in good accounting, so it still dilutes the pool. There's going to be probably some people that put it into good accounting and passed away, lost their keys.
They bleed out, so.
Not if it's in good accounting, it won't. Nope. It does not bleed out in good accounting. That's the whole point of good accounting. Yeah, it'll just sit there forever. I guarantee there's going to be
minted. Yeah, it's a Satoshi. They become Satoshi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally.
They prop up the market cap of the coin, and they get diluted 3.9%.
They don't bleed out. That's right. I didn't know how long you could do. I guess you can do that indefinitely, huh?
Until you mint those coins, yeah. Until you realize them.
Yeah, it's just given the code, so.
Yeah.
Today, for example, I needed to remember somebody that, dude, you have like a small stake since August. Don't you want to end stake it?
Yeah. Yeah. Stop diluting our shares, man.
Yeah, something like that.
You still have 10,000 trillion shares, and the rest of us are just waiting for you to get rid of it so we can get our gains back.
So both for tax reasons and for the price appreciation reasons, if you did do good accounting, right, because your stake is finished, but you did do good accounting,
it doesn't help the price.
That's the coin, then it's not a taxable event yet. Plus, that appreciation might continue over the next couple of years, like how Bitcoin did. So you could wait and wait and wait and still be potentially claiming those coins you think are dead or people think are dead because they just haven't moved, and you later pull them out.
Well, they're not. I guess they're not. They're not getting sold, obviously. So it's not hurting the price that way, but it's not doing anything to prop up the market cap.
No, but you're still participating in the price appreciation potential. So if you basically hear about people losing their hard drive and it goes to a landfill, and then they spend $100,000 trying to find $10 million worth of Bitcoin in a hard drive, it's the same thing. Basically, you have the potentiality to claim it later, even though you're not bleeding out, and even though you're not accruing new additional hex. Yeah.
Right.
Do you also think that like in 10 years there will be a percentage of hex lost?
Yes.
Like it is with
Oh,
Bitcoin.
guaranteed.
There's a percentage of hex lost right now. Percentage of the contract. People send ETH to the hex contract, and there's people that do all kinds of stupid shit with their money, with their physical things and their digital things.
True that.
Yeah.
I got a question. So Richard's mentioned it before, speaking of good accounting, that you can run it for someone else as long as you have their Ethereum address. Do you guys know where you actually run that function? Like,
at another hex.win, I guess you can do that, no?
Okay. For sure.
I never did it actually, but yeah.
You can direct run it also in Ethereum Etherscan on the contract.
So you can run.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember hearing that. So specifically on good, you can mint somebody else's coins out of good accounting from a separate wallet.
No, you just can do good accounting for somebody else.
Oh, good accounting for them. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, you can click on.
I was thinking, man, there's some negative possibilities there. If a huge whale is sitting on a good accounting stake, and you can run the minting function for them from your wallet.
Wait a minute, tell how that would be again. So what is it?
So say you had a guy that had 200 million coins or something, and it was in good accounting because they were waiting to not hit the tax implications. Say it's the end of the year, some year in December, and they were waiting till January 1st to mint them, and you're like, run mint, and all of a sudden it mints 200 million coins into their wallet, and they've got a taxable event.
The tax thing is still about taking possession. It's still about exiting to your address wallet. You're still okay.
Then you get a call. This is the IRS. This is the IRS call.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is if someone could mint out of good accounting from another wallet, they could still make you realize those coins right away. So I'm glad that's not the case. Or
you could run. Anyway, I don't want to give anybody any ideas because it is the most transparent coin in the world. You can see all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, there's exciting things to come with this, dude.
Unless it's my mom or my wife, I'm not running good accounting for anybody. So you guys are all screwed. I'm gonna watch you guys bleed out, and I'm gonna make sure I'm staked.
I mean, it depends about the fees, you know. If it's like fees like back in March when you pay 1 cent for the function, then maybe. But I actually in the months like July and August, I felt like I'm getting scammed by ease fees or something like that.
Oh hell yeah, we were getting.
Oh yeah, I probably spent $700 or $800 just in the Uniclaim stuff, just in each.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it took
Talic
about
was
50
crawling
bucks
up
on that,
asses those couple months there, boy.
There might actually be a case to want to run the good accounting function, because you're not going to get like if you don't run good accounting and someone's bleeding out, no one gets a coin until that function's run or that they mint their own coin. So it's not just you're not actually getting any of that, any of the penalties until that function is run.
Yeah, there is a point at the value of the coins that it is better for the community to run the good accounting feature.
So you're running
you're
not running it for the whole network. You're running it per address. You're just basically seeking out whales and seeing if you're going to distribute across all stakers.
Right. And so if there is some really big whale that hasn't, their stakes expiring, or maybe it's, 2 years have gone by and there's nothing
bleeding
left in
out.
it, no one's going to get any of it until good accounting is run and that account is closed.
That's a really good. That's actually Steph should pay attention to this video again. That's an extra bonus. Maybe that could be the referral bonus, is that metric, something like that, where, if you're bringing in a certain number of people to the Staker app, you don't have a monetary reward, but you could probably run that function or at least know who the whales are to hit. That's pretty cool.
Are you sure about that? Because I remember listening to Richard when he said that the stake bleeds out 1% every week from the third week. And with this bleeding out, it's like this 1% per week is added to the penalties, to the daily penalties. And after 2 years, then this stake still has those shares. And only then it would be good to run the good accounting function, that the total share pool gets smaller. Therefore, everybody gets a bit more payout.
That's my understanding of it too. We will get those penalties like you would an emergency end stake that day. It's the shares still are locked up until someone runs good accounting on their behalf. That was my understanding of it.
Yeah, mine too, yeah.
No, so you because that is with the early end stake, because someone's actually running a function, that's why you get the payout. But until someone does something, nothing will ever happen, right? Yeah. We are the network, so you have to do good accounting if you want the penalties to be accredited to your account, or it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
or
not
the person mints
your account. It's accredited to all stakers.
Sure. Yeah. So it's
to the whole community.
But someone that computation has to be executed by someone.
So potentially,
Kyle explained it before to us.
Transaction, you got to say, I'm willing to benefit the community by running it from my cost for everybody to benefit. This is gonna be interesting.
So and after 2 years, it makes totally sense because there aren't more penalties this stake can potentially get, but still he's with his shares in the total share pool, right?
Right. So after 2 years, all the when the computation is executed, that's when it'll have the distribution. But if you're not a part of the staking class at that time, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah, sure.
So even if you were a part of the time, the 2 years before while it was bleeding out, you don't get anything if at that time when it was executed that you're not getting any of the early instinct penalties.
It's all timestamped. Everything.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's always just the user and the code only calculates when some user is interacting with it, right?
Yes, and you're right. Kyle did go through this explanation just a few days ago on Hex Pro Chat. So,
yeah, he did it on our show too, like months ago.
Yeah,
but like Wendy said, or John Frizzle said, I've already forgotten more about Hex than a noob will digest. we do. We go over all this stuff and then we like, oh fuck yeah, I remember that. That's right.
Hey, Captain, we do have 30 days left.
30? No, we don't. No, we don't.
No.
It's not 30.
Go at hex.com and look up the time.
31.
It's 33 days.
Oh, sorry, 33. Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
miss up like the end of the transformation lobby and the big payday.
It's 33.
The AA lens
It's
ends
two
on
different
351.
I must have been looking at some
And the
some
big
website
payday.
that wasn't updating me because it was literally telling me 30. I was like, what? Huh.
The big payday is 353.
That was one of them shitcoin things telling you that.
I guess the transform lobby ends in 30 days, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's what it is or whatever.
It ends, but then there's before big. It's still before big payday. AA ends then, but you still have 3 days before big payday.
Yeah, I was reading the adoption expired launch
It's
date.
33
Yeah.
days until AA is over. Yeah.
If you have
30 days, 30 days AA is over. In 33 days,
big payday.
Big payday.
If it rolls over on day 352 and you stake on 352, are you getting BPD on 353? Are you eligible?
Yes, I mean PBD is like in the they pull over between 353 and 354, right?
Yeah, so basically, because it rolls over at a certain time at the exact hack. So if you were staked, then it was releasing on the next day, then you would get ability to mint them. And if you were staking the day before and it rolls over to big payday, then you were eligible. Is that right? How's that work?
It's like
chance.
You are in US, so you need to be staked the whole day of the 19th.
Yeah, be
and
staked.
Like the last timestamp you can enter a stake is before the AA rolls over to the November 19th day. I mean, I know it's like in the evening when the AA rolls over in your time zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be staked like 17th in the evening, no, 18th in the evening, that you're staked the whole 19th of November. And when this day is over and gone, then the big payday gets credited to all the stakers.
Yeah.
Am I right? I guess so.
No, I think you're right. The funny thing is that the staker app, when it first came out, wouldn't tell you if you had made big payday, if you made the stake proper or not.
Yeah, you mean like Go Hex Win Go Hex Win in the
like right now you could click on it, it'll show you that you made big payday, and before it didn't, you had to count the days and everything. Remember, we were all counting.
Kind of. So you still saw like the increase, like the big payday.
You could see the increase. You had to make sure you hit the increase.
Yeah, so it was there, but a bit hidden.
Yeah, it was hidden. So you could have wrecked yourself.
I mean, the first day Bitcoin claimers, they wrecked themselves, kind of, because they can only mint their hex on the 18th, and on the 18th you already need to be staked, no?
Yeah.
Or on the 19th they coming out, and so then it's a bit
wrecked.
hard to tell it in dates because of the time difference. I mean, if we agree that we just talk UTC time, but I guess nobody.
The safest thing to do is to stake out past the 20th.
Yeah, longer pays better always.
Yeah, the day longer.
And if you want to increase your big payday bonus, then go as long as you think you can go.
Yeah, I wonder how many day one Bitcoin claimers there was. How many big Bitcoin claimers there was on day one?
Yeah, I'm more wondering like how many of those just did the 350 day thing,
Yeah. Yeah, so Rami was asking, they didn't have to stake for only 350 days though. I thought they could free claim and do more than 350. They could, but most of them just hit the function and allowed it to just, stake. They wanted to get their coins as quickly as possible. And because of that, they're going to miss the big payday, and they can't take them out. They can't emergency end stake them and then stake them for longer. They have to ride out the whole time. Bitcoin claims have to ride out the whole time, the 350 days.
Yeah, and also most of the didn't know that you, like with the 1 day of pending time, So, yeah.
Yep.
So they messed up.
Wrecked.
Yeah, wrecked. I mean, it's still free money, you know. So we are talking about.
Yeah, it was free money.
Bitcoin claims. So.
Yeah, so they're sitting on some. I wonder how much some of them have made. There's actually going to be some made there.
So I still think that higher percentage of those free minted hex are getting staked longer and don't matter. You know, if you look at the 15-year chart, the big payday is just a blip if you go to 15 years, like Kyle explained as well.
Yeah.
$20 is $20.
What?
I ain't gay, but $20 is $20.
I mean, what's the ROI on something you got for free? I mean, it's a lot.
Unlimited.
I like what Crypto Goose was saying in here. Be careful. The 19th is actually November 18th, not 7:30 p.m. It would be 6 or 7, depending on your time zone. It doesn't turn over halfway through the hour. But
you look at the date.
He's got a great point. He's got a great point that it's actually after it turns over after November 18th. So you got to make sure you're on the right side of the fence post on that, guys. Richard's talked about this quite a bit. It's a common problem in programming, being on the wrong side of the fence post. So November 19th starts November 18th after the adoption amplifier when the new day turns over. The adoption amplifier will be done at that time, but when the day turns over.
So I have a stake that ends on day 351, and then I want to stake that again for like 10 years on 351.
And then you can stake it on 351 because you can unstake it and stake it again, and it will be live from day 352. So you're fine.
352. Yep, you should be fine.
That was my plan.
Just don't miss it. Don't forget to re-roll that over.
Because it's like day 351, when it ends, it was the last day of AA. Then we go to 352.
Yep.
On this day, you need to enter your stake.
Yep.
That your stake is live on the day 353. Yep. And when the day 353 ends, towards the 354 day, there is the big payday in the code, like the one-time event.
That's amazing. I mean, again, I think that people that have a half understanding of Hex, I think they're going to FOMO. I think the people that have a real understanding are just going to watch it, and be excited about it, but watch it play out for the 5 or 10 or 15 year stakes that they have. It's going to be really interesting. I'm really excited about participating in the live streams and things like that day.
Mm-hmm. I think, for example, those weeks will be pretty volatile.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can agree on that.
And then as you see price change, let's say it's 24 months from now, 2 years from now, you see price changes. Litecoin's commenting a lot of people have commented about how strong do your hands have to be. I mean, if it hits 10 cents a coin, is that an exit point for you? And if you have a whole stake, do you decide you're going to EES to realize that kind of price point? What are you going to do? So it's going to be really interesting. When he talked about just throwing these two words together of speculative stickiness, again, Hex has got it. I mean, I don't know anything else that has speculative stickiness. Bitcoin doesn't have that. Ethereum doesn't have that. They have high market cap and liquidity, but really they don't have the stickiness that this thing has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lots of fundamentals, no?
I would love to crypto T2. I would love to go through all that, but that's
let me explain. Let me. I was gonna jump on the same thing and talk about the staking strategy. So, if you look at like today's Hex price, so I think it's like to pull in 2,000 USD in Hex, it's like 480,000 Hex or something like that. 400 something thousand, almost 500,000 Hex. So, if you want to pull out USD in today's prices, if you don't think the price will go up, if you think it's going to this is like maybe medium price or a stable price for Hex, then you're going to need to figure out a ladder, monthly ladder of where you're going to bring in 500,000 Hex. So, well, big payday is probably going to double your bag. You can almost think that. So if you put in 250,000 every month and stake that out at a ladder, then you're almost looking at your 500,000 Hex there alone. Now that's without interest. So you can count that on top. So if you want to get a little closer to it, you can maybe put 200K out there and stake it out and lower the amount that you're putting in order because you're going to be gaining interest throughout the ladder. It depends on how long you want to do the ladder too. If you want to do the ladder for a year, you're looking at 12 entries, 2 years, 24. So you've got to divide up your Hex based upon how many years you want that ladder to be. And then as you unstake it, as it matures, then you have options there to put the interest back and keep your $2,000, and then just stake your interest out beyond your ladder stakes. And so that, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can ladder, but that's just one way. If you're looking for that like 2,000 USD price at today's prices, that's what you're looking at. So
yeah, you got to keep in mind, a lot of people don't talk about this thing. It's not like it's a huge percent, but like 10% is for bigger pays better. So a lot of people do have these micro stakes every 3 stakes a week or some shit like that. Actually, I personally choose to do them quarterly. Quarterly is close enough for me because you can always EES at the midpoint. And if you EES, I mean, again, that's enough distribution over a year, over a 15-year period or 20-year period, depending on how long you want to go out on this thing. But there's a reason to think about bigger pays better as well when you're considering if you need micro stakes or if you need to capture the top of a market or just basically average that out over the course of a bear market, bull market cycle.
Yeah.
Shit, we hit over 200 watchers tonight.
That's great.
That is great.
You're
it's
welcome.
really good. So, all right. So I'm gonna pick some people now. So everybody in the chat, go ahead. One time, if I see your name in there more than once, I am not picking you.
What if I put it in bold? I want to put it in bold. Can you see me if I do it in bold?
I don't look. I don't look when I pick. So whatever.
Wait. Motley Investor gifting subscriptions. Did you see that earlier?
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks, Motley. Motley got like banned from Telegram or something today.
Did he really? From Telegram?
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
I was in one of the dark channels, and it's like you don't get kicked out of this channel, And he was banned from that channel, and I was like, how the hell did Motley how do you get kicked out of this? And it was like it was a bot, so he got kicked out of all of Telegram for some reason. He did something.
All of Telegram. Wow, that's pissing off some Russians.
Hexo's in there spamming up the freaking chat room.
I did it one time. I hope I stand out.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to pick 3 names out of the chat. So, first name. Oh boy, this guy again. He is scoring. All right. So, Into the Fire. You are first.
This guy's got like 5 entries. What the fuck?
Into the Fire is killing it. I gotta double check and make sure he didn't spam because
I think he's watching your keystrokes or your eyeballs on the screen or something.
He's not sure.
He's stroking something.
Don't be pumped. Okay. All right. UD-1. UD-1. Cool. New name. UD-1. You are number 2 on tonight's Dlive Million Hex giveaway. Let's see. And Children of the Grave. I think he's got a couple entries too. Children of the Grave. And then the last ones, I'm going to pick 3 out of the chat room here.
Out of the tubes.
Yep. Out of the Twitters. I'm sorry, out of the Twitters. That was out of the tubes and everything right there.
Right.
Let me see here. Let me make sure of something. Yep. Okay, yep. Not all my YouTubers in here. There's just a lot more people in Dlive YouTubers. A lot more people in Dlive than in YouTube. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. I know. Go ahead and talk. I'll pick some. And our first entry is middle class working man.
Ooh,
and
he definitely needs it.
God damn, bro.
What's so funny? What am I missing?
Oh, he's like he definitely needs it.
Oh, and John Kalinis. John. Is that how you say his last? Kalin, Kaln, Kalnis. John Kalnis. And then the last one. Yeah, another guy that got another entry. Barely Crafty. You are barely crafty. He's got a couple entries now already. All right, guys, that's it. So Into the Fire, UD1, Children of the Grave, Middle Class Working Man, John Kalanis, and Barely Crafty. You guys are all the winners. And I think I might have, let me see. Middle Class Working Man. Nobody. Let me check this for a minute. I think I might have messed that up, but no, he's good. Where's he at? All right, he's good. All right. Now remember, when we do win, you've got to follow Dlive, you've got to subscribe to YouTube, and you've got to be following me on Twitter. If I pick your name on that day and you don't have those 3 things done, you don't win. Sorry, I can't be unfair to everybody else who's actually doing it right. Hexo has been through a few of these, and he said it's a freaking nightmare, and so far it has been. So you gotta qualify properly, and then we'll spin the wheel.
Don't be a bunga.
Don't be a bunga.
Yeah, don't bunga it. So hey, and I'm gonna give away the treasure chest here too. So all you D-livers, when you drop the treasure chest, man, that is freaking cool. We hit 200 tonight. Hey, thanks, Motley.
Yeah.
Let's see. Fake news. I tried to join Hex and it banned me. Oh, so because you tried to join that channel, you got banned? But I thought you got banned. Oh, Richard fixed it, he said. Yeah, because I commented on it. How do you get banned out of this channel? It's like the freaking if you got banned out of here, I don't want to talk to you because you're a different kind of pirate, that's for sure. All right, let's give away the treasure chest here. Distribute rewards. Oh, there goes spamming up the D-lives, wanting the chest money. Win chest.
Hit
Chest
it.
now.
I need lemons. I'm running low.
They said the last time you don't give chest, you scam. Scam. Let's see here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the Fire. What a freaking winner tonight. Into the Fire was 486 lemons. El Hexadente. 280 lemons. Hex OG 202. One Hexy Mofo got 161 lemon, and Colin Hexander 135 lemons. Guys, congratulations. All you chest winners. All right. Anything else we want to talk about, or do we want to shut this thing down on a Friday night and go finish getting drunk and all that other good stuff that you guys are doing?
I will sleep now.
7 a.m. or something.
You look like you're going to go get you a beer and a strudel.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, we can drink a beer now. I have one here for you as well, if you want. But I need a couple of hours to get this rule.
So let's not talk about the now price or even the BPD price. I know you didn't say anything about price specifically, but what is your 1 year and your 2 year price? What do you think a hex on the open market liquid hex is going to be at the 1 year mark?
So you mean like October 2021 and October 2022?
Yeah,
okay.
1 year and 2 year out.
First, what's your big payday prediction? Everybody wants to hear that. We haven't heard from you for a while, so what's your big payday prediction?
Me or what?
Yeah, Hex Fox.
Yeah,
Patrick.
From me, okay. Yeah, I mean there is more and more buying pressure coming, and I guess in the next weeks it will increase even more. I'm not sure how much late sellers there are still sitting on liquid Hex and wanted to front run the big payday, but I guess we see 1 cent.
Ooh, I like it.
I like that too.
And that's that you think that's current. You don't think that that's 1 year from now. Are you saying that's 2021?
No, I think that's like the spike pre-BBT.
Yeah, pre-BBT. I'm estimating 1 cent as far as a spike, and then I'm thinking 1 year out, once the volatility and the trend is reaffirmed after a launch phase, and now we're in the long-term phase. I think you're going to start seeing people show some money that they already have made. And I think that that's going to be like other cryptos, that it will influence more buy pressure. And I think that by this time next year, 12, 13 months from now, I think I'm going to say 8 cents. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm. I would say like October 2021, I say we are below 1 cent, but October 2022, we are over 8 cents.
You think it takes a 2-year evolution, huh?
Yes, I mean, there is, I don't know like how long they still can gatekeep Hex, you know? I mean, we are trying our best, we are going viral, but if they like push it with fiat money to increase the gatekeeping around Hex, they can literally just print it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I still think we're going to see our 3 cents here after big payday. I think big payday is going to bring 3 cents. That's just my thoughts.
After what's after mean? Is that like months after? What's after?
No, right after big payday hits, I think will be the momentum of what's going to happen is going to take us into
Before end of year.
3 cent range.
Why?
And then a dump.
Why? Why do you think that?
I think that there's whales waiting.
Yeah.
After the PBD.
I think that's where the price is going to end up rocketing to from the whales jumping in before.
Yeah, but you know that like as soon as the big payday gets credited, the selling pressure increases.
Of course. But it's going to have so much momentum going into big payday. It's going to be a while before it drops out at 3 cents.
And there's no more inflation. Well, there's 3.69% a year, but there's no more daily inflation.
And all of those stakes that are going to be realized, I think that those people know what Hex is about, and they're going to be wanting to get the shares as low of the price, and they're going to see that increase in the share price that's going to grow exponentially after big payday, and they're going to go, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have blown my whole load on the day after big payday. I should have waited. And then they're going to want to stake some more, and those people are going to stake longer.
Because another theory of mine is this, that once we hit 1 cent, that this will lead to the FOMO, because then maybe the market will react. Look at Hex, it's already at 1 cent.
That's
so.
But I think it's definitely a level that it's got to reach. I think you're gonna psychologically that's the barrier, is the 1 cent barrier, and I think it could possibly go. I mean, I don't want to get too crazy out of here, but I seriously think if it can hit 1 cent, I don't think there's anything stopping it from hitting 10 cents.
I mean, there are a lot of stakes who might get double their Hex within those weeks, so I can't say that I don't see anything which can stop the price then, you know. So there is still a lot of free liquidity there then, and you know, if I doubled my stack and it increased a huge amount of access, I'm still happy if I just restake 80% of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is, you know. It's we are a transparent community, you know. We don't need to like just be ever bulls or something like that.
Well, and those who are wise are going to realize you don't sell your whole stack. You restake it, and you sell only the principal and maybe some of the BPD.
And I mean, Hex is a money making machine. You won't sell totally everything, you know.
And that's going to be learned behavior. That's going to be learned behavior.
Yeah, I agree.
In the Hex period, everybody's going. We've learned it, and other people will learn it also that come in after big payday. So it'll be learned behavior that remember longer pays better. And this isn't a short game. This is a long game, because right now the big payday is really about the short game. Right now, the people that thought Hex was a short game or wanted to play a short game with it, Hex doesn't really start moving and taking off and doing what it's supposed to do until after year 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, and then it starts to do what it's supposed to do. And then after year 10, then it's going to be, I mean, that's where the people who got in before big payday are really going to benefit is after year 10. That's where you're going to see some.
I mean, the best indicator in Hex, I think, is on Hex Live, the average weighted staking length. Because this is like where you should aim to get with your whole wallet. You know, like always make different stakes. And the mid of that should more or less be those 5 years.
So if there's a concern of like sell side pressure around big payday, whether before or after, I imagine liquidity is going to go up, right? And if liquidity goes up, then it's probably harder for the price to either dump or pump.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you guys' thoughts with that? Because right now the liquidity is quite low intentionally to help the price pump, but then if a bunch of liquidity is added, I don't know if the price is just going to go exponential right now. I think maybe 2 cents, maybe not 2 cents, close to 2 cents, just under 2 cents is the top, I think.
Right.
I'd be happy with that.
I think
I'd be happy too. I think that's fantastic.
People that are already players in the crypto space, like RG3 said something about whales. Whales that are whales that have had that either they're public or they're not, they know that they're whales. They want to stay whales. They want to stay whales. And if they're not already a whale inside of the Hex ecosystem, they want to stay whales. And that means that the share rate, once the share rate basically triples, possibly after big payday, they're going to have to buy 3 times as much to have the same share rate. No one likes to think that they have the small dick in the room. No one likes to think.
But don't you think that your statement right now? Don't you think that your statement right now got proven wrong last week?
How?
When one of our winning whales emergency end staked and sold?
I suspect that's OA. I don't know that it's OA, but I suspect it's OA. I think it might be a gift.
Or some guy with ass cancer. I don't know.
And that is still next to being a whale. I mean, they're not like a super. They're like a super high level already. 200 million wasn't like a big chunk of their load.
Yeah. All right. So let's just go back to one thing. Okay. Remember when I said this already on the last stream, but like remember when Ridge was telling us, do not FOMO on day one. What did everybody do? They
FOMO'd in on day one. Yeah.
What the fuck have we? Listen to this. What the fuck have we been saying? It on the life of like Hexo stream and Discourse Syndicate the entire fucking time. Get your stakes, buy your Hex, be staked out. If you want to have a little liquid, have your fucking plan in place. And what are people not going to do? Not have their plan in place.
Yep.
So we're gonna fucking last minute stake, FOMO buy, and 2. We're missing one more thing too. When Hex breaks its 4-minute mile, which is a penny, that's when it becomes like real money to people at that point. When Hex price really appreciates, it's going to be in the headlines. And what happens when you're in the headlines? You end up getting new buyers. So one thing we're not talking about is if some people are going to be selling, some of those that selling will be offset by new people coming in and finding Hex because the price is going up. Because why does it matter the price is going up? Because that's all people fucking care about.
And that's where my 3 cents comes in at, is because if it does pump to a penny and the whales FOMO in, guess what? Everybody else FOMOs in at that point, and it just the momentum just carries. It always happens whenever there's a pump.
Nobody
People
wants to see the balloon escaping them. No one wants to see, oh fuck, what's going on? It's going up. What the
They
shit?
don't want to buy it when the price is low. They want to buy it when the price is high. Always.
Yep.
Always. When the 20K Bitcoin was going on, people were buying that shit like crazy. All the way.
So should we
But
put
to go
some
from 1
liquidity
cent
together that we can pump at least another all-time high to, like to start the rally?
We just started a rally tonight. We just went up a couple percentage points.
Well, even if you stake on the day before big payday, if you stake on that day versus trying to scoop it up at half price on day after big payday, you're still, I wouldn't say you're losing because you're scooping up. You are the floor, right? Whatever the floor ends up being, if there is volatility after big payday, but you will be passed. You realize that you will be the turtle you will be passed by the other players that and again, no one wants to think that there's a small dick in the room, especially if they're a whale. I think that there'll be buy pressure that you're underestimating.
Yeah. Within the next couple of weeks, you think, or after big payday?
I think on both sides of big payday. I think before and after. I think there will be realization by people that are either sat on the fence. Look how many people are even consistently claiming on BTC claims, in the 11th month, right? How long has this been talked about? As long as it's been talked about what you could have yielded, right? And the same sort of thing with the influx of people paying attention to things like Uniswap instead of caring about their Binance account or their Coinbase account. You're seeing addresses added to the staking pool, like Steph talked about earlier. I mean, I just think it's underestimating to think that I agree that there's going to be volatility, and there will be people that try to play it like traders and say that they will sell the news or whatever, buy the hype and sell the news or whatever, and that'll happen around big payday. The week before and the week after will be volatile. It doesn't really affect me that much. I mean, I have almost nothing that's liquid anyway, and I can see that maybe by this time next year, that trend, I deal in trended data all the time when it comes to credit and funding and how to get capital for people and things like that. Trended data matters because it's the habit you're looking at. You're looking at a person's habit. And this crypto has the most transparent reveal of habit of any crypto as far as address tracking and available data. It's really interesting.
I think the people that are going to FOMO won't know what big payday is, and they won't know that that's the event that's causing the FOMO. They're just going to FOMO in because they see price.
Right.
So
price go up.
I think we anticipate, oh, well, why would they do this? Because of big payday. Well, I don't think the average person that doesn't know about Hex right now would know what a big payday is or what the AA was and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So here's something else for you guys to think about too. Cardano has a max supply of 45 billion, so it's in the billions, and its all-time high price was 99 cents. And granted, that was 1,017 days ago, but when people think billions, and we've already seen one that was freaking a white paper, and that's all it was at that time. Didn't even have a mainnet, really.
Cardano,
I mean, it
Cardano's
did.
still never finished.
Yeah, I don't know if it will ever be finished, but now you've got a finished product that's also counted in the billions that pays you with more of itself. Hey guys, I think our chances of 3 cents looks pretty good before end of year.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think by this time next year, 11
it's designed to go to 56 cents.
It is designed to go to 56 cents.
It's designed to do that. 10,000x it's designed to do. And that's a conservative view. I've heard that spoken too. When it was designed, the actual use of 10,000x is conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So and we're forgetting one macro thing right now too. So in 4 to 5 weeks, supposedly during this quarter, we're going to start getting the phase 0 contract for for Ethereum, right? What do people use to buy Hex? Ethereum. So if you have Ethereum double, or maybe do a 1.5x above the price right now. So let's just say it goes to $600 to $800. What does that mean? When someone finds Hex, they have more buying power. The whatever the OA does, they have more buying power. Everything has more buying power. So you end up so it ends up being like a big one Ethereum ends up buying way more in USD value of Hex, which it just spikes the price and stuff, or at least will help hold the price up as new people and other people, because it's a market, right? Some people are getting out, some people are getting in, obviously, and then then we don't have to over explain anymore the AA. Or the AA or any of this big payday stuff. It'll just be more simple explanations at that point.
I mean, even more macro than that. Like we have the elections coming up. We have this new stimulus package coming out. If I get any of that stimulus money, what do you think I'm going to do with it?
Yeah,
all my uni stimulus went directly into Hex without a second thought.
Yep, we had a little pump because of that. So, but here's the other thing that we forget about when we talk about price. Price doesn't matter to the staking class. So yeah, we're going to have a pumpy and we're going to have a dumpy, and big payday is probably going to be we're going to see something happen there. But the staking class is shielded from price. It doesn't matter to you if you have a 2, a 3, a 5, a 10-year stake. Your price is not going to matter to you then. Your own price is only going to matter if you're somebody selling right around big payday in the first year here, or whatever your stakes are coming due. That's the only time price is going to matter. Price is not going to matter to your stakes out 3, 4, 5, 10 years, 15 years.
I would say price matters only 2 times as a user, when you get in and when you want to get out, because then price matters for you,
That's true.
And to reduce the risk of price for you, you have the beautiful mechanism with the stakes within Hex. Just make several stakes that you can reduce your risk, or that you can split your risk on the timeline, And you are also not forced to sell when a stake ends. You can also only mint it and keep it liquid in your wallet, or just like make monthly stakes to gain a little bit if the price is on a pretty bad point in your point of view.
Yep.
Another thing that people don't really pay attention to, we comment on it sometimes about the population that's inside of the Hex community that are business owners. The population that's basically, I wouldn't say they're more middle-aged, closer to middle-aged, 35 to 40 is kind of our demographic, actually more so than the 20-year-old trader inside of the typical gaming class of crypto. And you think about this, how many people do you think that are in Hex that are actually staked are maybe homeowners or have lived in the same place for 5 years? You think about the population that actually says, that I just bought this house 6 months ago and it doubled in price. I'm going to sell. No, a lot of people don't do that when it comes to what they value. They value their home, their house, their place that they raise their kids. And so the mentality of the people inside the Hex community is different than the mentality of almost every other crypto space, because that's a trading. I'm not trying to make them out as terrible people, but the short-term mind frame of what is a value proposition is different than inside of the Hex community than outside of it. So when you talk about a blockchain CD, you say something like there's a 4.3 or 4.8 year long average as far as staking class. It's very, very different. So the population looks at the value proposition differently.
Yeah, and the pump's not yours. The pump, if you've got stakes out there, whatever's happening right now, the pump is not yours. Not your pumpy, not your dumpy.
But you still get something of those of the pump, because the pump will lead to emergency end stakes, and you get part of those penalties.
Sure. That's that's that. It can only be a benefit, but I mean, it really doesn't matter to you as far as like you said. Only thing that matters is when you get in and when you get out.
And the biggest
house analogy. The house analogy is exactly that. You decide after a long period of conversation with yourself when you're going to sell your house. You decide after a contemplation period when you're going to buy into a property you're going to live in for 5 or 10 years. I think the average length of time they say before you refinance a mortgage is you should be in a property for 5 years or longer. If you think you're going to be in it for 5 years or longer, go ahead and refinance for that better APR. It's the same kind of mentality inside of Hex that's different than other crypto.
Yeah. I mean, my house has gone exponentially crazy, and I wasn't going to sell it, and it dropped drastically, and I didn't sell it then either. I mean, it's the same mentality, like you said. It's a long-term. Hex is a long-term hold. Period. End of story. That's what a CD is for. It's for holding.
Yeah, I mean, what I also like with Hex is a dynamic CD. So, for example, when my first stake gets out, I take this principle and restake it to the very end. And therefore, with this dynamic staking ladder, over time, I will even increase my average staking length.
Yep, exactly.
I think Ryan just did a release of something like that. Ryan, I know he just did a video recently, or maybe yesterday, and it was about the staking strategy of the restaking strategy. So he already has like a significant ladder, and then he was talking about what percentage gets staked out over time after one's mature. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Hexo,
because with the dynamic ladder, you will lose some shares over time. So when your first stake comes out and you just restake the principal, you will get less shares. But as you're staking it out for a very long time, so towards the end of your ladder, you're increasing the time, so the longer pays better. So I don't think that it will matter that much that you have a worse share rate.
Yeah. Hexo said, Pumpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Pumpty Dumpty emergency, and staked them all.
Not your Humpty, not your Dumpty. What were you saying earlier? I got to remember your cliche.
Not your Pumpy, not your Dumpy. Stake long, stake hard.
Stake hard.
This is the meme channel for sure. I love it.
All right, guys, I'm gonna end this damn thing because and by the way, thanks for coming in, Hexo, hanging out with us tonight. If you want more Hex and you're going to your AA, you go into the AA Adoption Amplifier to get your Hex. You can go to hex.doctor. That's hex.doctor and get yourself 20% more, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we have a lot of announcements in the last couple of weeks, because on hexinfo.io you can still look up your portfolio. Hex.live with the staking app, even better right now. Big payday coming in a couple of weeks. Just stake it now, stake it long, then you don't need to mess up the date. Also, thanks to Archie3 for having me on the show.
Thank you.
It was nice to talk to with all of you guys.
Good to have you on again, man. We haven't seen you in a long time. You're one of our OG freaking cutthroats here, man.
Yeah, the times, the time difference, it's kind of hard to make it.
Are you on Twitter anywhere, Fuchs or Fox?
No, I'm not on Twitter. I'm just Telegram and
Telegram. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
stays out of the cesspool.
Yep.
The Twitter here.
Yeah, I'm an admin in the German Hex community, so in the Crypto Sparbuch, and there I'm doing also price analysis. And in Telegram you have the answer function, so I'm answering always on my last analysis. So a new person who gets in can look up my thoughts back till April, I guess.
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
One little staking strategy. I'm getting ready to do a bunch of stakes, and I wanted to do something for my family. So all of my nieces and nephews, I have 21 of them. I'm going to put a 15-year stake out for every one of those kids. So that
I did that. I did it already.
Yeah. So I've done some stakes for events and things I talked about, like my kids' events, maybe we'll get married, college, those kinds of things. But then I just decided that I was going to stake out for all the kids in my family. Hexo and I had a long talk the other day. He and I were talking about, we were just kind of moon talking about the type of money that our stakes could make, and what do you do?
Will it be the driving license? Will it be the car, or will it be the house? No.
But we were actually talking, and we'll get into this whole. I don't want to get into this whole subject because we can talk about it all night. But we were talking about how are we going to give back, versus, I know in crypto, a lot of people talk about Lambos and run around in fur coats and wear $5,000 shoes and buy $20,000 watches and stuff. But we were talking about actually setting up foundations and doing things for others, and having like Christmas parties where we just blast on a family and get them a house and cars and things like that. And we were just moon talking, but giving back, because I did talk a little bit about giving back the other day. 10-10, my 10-10-10, 30-40, giving 10% to the charity of your choice, whatever it may be, whether it's your church or your family or somebody less fortunate than you. But there's going to be a lot of money made by OG Hexicans, man. I'm telling you guys. And
so and as a pirate, like from whom you're stealing that? I said you're a pirate, right? So you need to steal that money first, or not?
I've already taken it from crypto. I am going to ass rape crypto. I have ass raped crypto. See, I'm like a reverse pirate. They took crypto over. We're taking it back. Richard Hart and us are taking fucking crypto back for us, for Hexicans, and because they have not been good stewards of crypto. They have fucked it over, and we're going to take it back and ass rape all of them.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely in for that.
I don't know if that could be the banner on the top page, but okay, we're gonna ass rape crypto. I don't know if that
one. On Pirate Bay again.
Discourse Syndicate ass raping crypto.
We get all the booty.
We're taking that booty. We're taking crypto's booty. All right, guys. Awesome. Thank you. Great Friday night hangout.
Hey, thanks for letting me on. It was good being on DS with you guys.
Hey, man, good having you out there in the community too. I'm gonna watch you guys' stream. What was your partner's name again?
It was Woody 10K.
Woody 10K.
On Twitter, he goes by a different name, but he doesn't want to dox himself yet. So
he's a smart guy. I like the way
he's good.
He is good. So good luck to you guys, man. Whatever we can do to help, get the word out on your stream. All of the Hexicans are welcome here, and we'll promote all your guys' stuff. So
I appreciate it.
Good job on that. All right, Gary, my baby Brand, thanks for coming home. Appreciate it. See you later.
you gotta keep that on a private file, whatever you guys are doing.
What's that say?
Fans only.
Oh, is that
fans only account.
DM me that, friend.
Oh, you got it.
All right.
You got it.
All right, and then to my boy, Father Hex. Thank you. We'll see you guys all Monday. Have a good ass time. Go stake your hex. We're getting closer and closer. It's going to get even more exciting next week, guys. Later. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Hexicans around the world, Father Hex.
Right. Hex is out right now. Sticker app is on iOS. Going for 11 years and more.